Chapter 293. Thousands of years ago, there was no industrial pollution. When night falls, the stars in the sky are like jewels inlaid on a black cloth. Lin Luoran looks out of the window into a spacious and tidy mud house. She can see the oasis under the starlight dotted in the yellow mud city. A higher wall encloses the higher ground, which is the capital of Neo-Babylon. Do you mean that the gate we entered is a restoration of the real scene? Everything in front of us is real, in the era of the Neo-Babylonian kingdom around 600 BC. Lin Luoran strokes the cyan little fox. It has fallen asleep. The starlight is shining. Goldie stands by the window and looks into the distance. He is also confused. Young Lisha paces in the room. We were taken back to the Neo-Babylonian kingdom around 600 BC by the Tower of Babel. In human terms, it's called time travel. Lin Luoran retorts subconsciously, no matter how powerful the Tower of Babel is, it's just a space jump and interstellar transmission. Young Lisha spreads a thin cloth on the stone bed and sits down. I'm afraid I have to help you with a physics lesson. It is said in Nature of Wenzi that the universe is the universe from ancient times to the present, and the universe is the universe from the top to the bottom. The combination of all space and time, including matter and energy, forms a unity called the universe. Time and space have always been inseparable. Since the interstellar teleportation array can send cultivators through the vast universe, it's not impossible for it to send us to 600 BC. Being tutored by a female monster in physics is not something to be proud of. Lin Luoran touches the mud wall in front of her. The uneven surface of the wall leaves a bumpy feeling on her fingertips. It is cold and feels real to the touch. I heard you call this kind of test, restoration of the real scene. So, you've encountered it before? Yang Lisha nods. The so-called completion of the task is just to evaluate whether the person who enters has the ability to complete the interstellar transmission. I've encountered it once and returned to the Tang dynasty in Huaxia. So, this restoration of the real scene should be automatically generated according to your personal ability. Generated according to her? How is it possible? Lin Luoran hasn't even figured out Yang Lisha's personal ability yet. Yang Lisha can't be lower than the middle stage of laying foundation. Besides, the crazy Taoist is unfathomable in Lin Luoran's eyes. Even if he steals Reiki materials from Yang Lisha, he has to escape in the name of closed-door training. Lin Luoran takes a deep breath. What you're saying is that those who have entered before won't encounter the same checkpoint the second time. Yang Lisha nods. Since she has returned to the Tang dynasty, she will not encounter the restoration of reality for the second time. That is to say, the city of Babylon in front of her appears because of Lin Luoran. Yang Lisha stares at her suspiciously. To be honest, I'm more curious than you. Why did the Tower of Babel judge you as the main body to complete the task and create this level? Lin Luoran is speechless. She guesses that it must be the bead in her hand that causes trouble, but how can she tell Yang Lisha this reason? She could only casually change the topic. Wait, you're talking about the restoration of the real scene. You went back to the Tang dynasty because you experienced that period? Then why are we in Neo-Babylon? I'm afraid that no one in the Lin family has been to Babylon for hundreds of generations, let alone me. This is the Mesopotamian plain of West Asia. In 600 BC, Huaxia was still in the spring and autumn period. Even if the ancestors of the Lin family were dizzy, they could not walk to West Asia. Yang Lisha has never smiled since she came here. Of course, she can't see her dimples. Why are you here? Of course, the Tower of Babel judges you according to your wishes. Lin Luoran almost faints. According to her wishes? She once looked up at the starry sky in front of the tower and questioned the riddles of history. The huge shadow made her retreat and dare not to think about it further. Does the Tower of Babel have to throw her back to this confusing era to solve the riddles herself just because she was a coward for once? Lin Luoran wants to cry but has no tears. She finally follows in Yang Lisha's footsteps and joins the black-faced army. Lin Luoran doesn't know what the oil lamp on the wall is made of. It looks like a will-o'-the-wisp. Lin Luoran is about to throw a fireball spell to make the room brighter when she hears an Arabic accent. The female voice is a little scared. She talks a lot. Lin Luoran hears something like oracle and food. It seems that the person is here to bring them food. Lin Luoran recalls for a long time in her brain, which is as fast as a CPU. She barely remembers the word put down in Arabic. She twirls the word with her tongue. God bless her. The person seems to understand her and puts the things at the door. Lin Luoran walks out of the stone door after hearing the footsteps go away. She only sees the back of a young girl wrapped in linen with silver earrings on her ears. Her wheat-colored skin looks very healthy. Different from the shabby mud hut, the tray on the ground is made of real gold, both from its shiny appearance and the touch of it in her hand. It may not be pure, but it is definitely a gold tray. There are 2 pieces of roasted wheat cakes, a plate of washed dates, pastries, and a delicate silver pot. Lin Luoran smells it. It smells like beer. This seems to be the dinner sent by the other party. They eat more than enough. Lin Luoran is surprised to see original beer in Neo-Babylonia. She also wonders why there is no meat. It seems that those people mistook them for someone else and treat them with respect. They should be treated with good wine and meat, but why is there no meat? Yang Lisha doesn't even look at the food. Lin Luoran eats the natural wheat cake alone. Well, it doesn't taste as good as the wheat produced in the space, but the heat is good. The beer is very pure, but a little cloudy. Drinking beer with wheat cake is probably the only experience in her life. Yang Lisha doesn't even look at the food. Lin Luoran is half full. Goldie won't eat without meat. The environment is strange. This is more than 2,000 years ago. Who knows what dangers there are? Lin Luoran doesn't dare to let Goldie hunt as she is new here. She also doesn't dare to take out fresh meat from the space for Goldie. The cyan little fox is sensible. It takes the plate of dates and jumps to the table to eat. In the accompaniment of the cyan little fox gnawing the dates, Lin Luoran hears a low conversation outside the room. She listens carefully, but she can only hear some keywords. North of Marduk's temple, sacrifice, canonization, spiritual mind, kindness, fake. Lin Luoran becomes the simultaneous interpreter. Yang Lisha stands up. You messed up. What did I mess up? Lin Luoran is confused. I'm afraid they mistook us for oracles. That's why they are so respectful to us. You were kind to the slave girl just now. I'm afraid they are suspicious of us. We have to get out of here as soon as possible. Yang Lisha stands up and carefully puts away the fine silk cloth she put on the bed. Lin Luoran is not surprised to be suspected as oracle. To avoid the wind and sand in Iraq, she and Yang Lisha both wear simple robes. The style of the robes is similar to that of Iraqi women. They are made of pure natural silk. Even if there is technology in this era, their clothes still represent their noble status. Are they suspected because they are too kind? Lin Luoran suddenly remembers the first time she met White Fairy in the abyss. At that time, White Fairy's attitude towards her was exactly the reason. White Fairy has been hunting wild geese all day long, and sometimes she will be pecked in the eye by the geese. If they are real oracles, they should be more arrogant than White Fairy, who is in the level of gathering vitality to a cultivator in the level of training chi. Even if they know, they don't have to run. Lin Luoran is surprised. These are all ordinary people. Yang Lisha sneers, I'm afraid you haven't checked your body. The wagon drained by the crystal ball is slowly recovering. Torches are lit in the yard. People are shouting to catch the 2 fake oracles. Lin Luoran frowns and instinctively wants to cast the fireball spell. The wagon in her body doesn't listen to her at all. Other people travel through time with a golden finger. Does it mean that her original skill is confiscated? Chapter 294. The courtyard was illuminated by the fire, and the shadow of the date palm tree was reflected on the earthen wall. Unexpectedly, it was not some slaves of the Ejib family who came. The bearded Babylonian man he saw in the afternoon hid in the crowd and pointed at the two of them with a look of disdain. He held a spear-like weapon and a shield. It was obviously a group of soldiers. Soldiers of the Neo-Babylonian kingdom. Maybe they are patrolling soldiers. They wear short skirts and leather armor with leather protectors on their joints. If they are not here to catch them, Lin Luoran would be more interested in this group of soldiers who have lived for more than 2,000 years. Don't tell me you're also at a loss. Without Reiki, Lin Luoran can still learn Tai Chi. It is not difficult for her to escape from a group of poorly equipped Babylonian soldiers. Yang Lisha nods, don't kill them. I can feel that there are powerful cultivators in the city. The window on the mud wall is high but not small. It is easy for them to jump out. Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha are in the same boat now. Lin Luoran believes Yang Lisha's judgment that there are cultivators in Babylon. Since the interstellar transmission circle is the Tower of Babel, it is not surprising that there are cultivators in Neo-Babylon more than 2,000 years ago. Lin Luoran winks at Yang Lisha and crosses her hands to make a ladder. Yang Lisha gently steps on Lin Luoran and jumps out. You two go first. Goldie. Seeing Lin Luoran running away, the soldiers yell and stab her with spears. Lin Luoran dodges to the left and pats Goldie, telling it to run away with the cyan little fox. Being restricted by some rules, Goldie can't transform now, but it can hold the little fox in its mouth. There is not much difference between an eagle and an eagle. Of course, there are also eagles in Babylon. They are all big shots. The soldiers don't kill Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha at the beginning because they have a golden eagle with them, so Yang Lisha has time to escape. Lin Luoran certainly doesn't know the secret. However, her and Yang Lisha's guilty behavior makes the soldiers forget about that. Goldie flies out of the window and Lin Luoran kicks away a spear. Even if she can't use Wakan, her body is tempered by Reiki molecules and she can easily make all kinds of difficult movements. Like the 180-degree horizontal kick in the movie, Lin's movements are smoother and smoother than all the action stars. Seeing that the soldiers are all on the ground, Lin Luoran gently steps on the stone table. The window is just big enough for one person to get through. She lightly lands on the ground. There are a few fainted female slaves in the yard. It seems that Yang Lisha did it. Many sharp and long leaves of the date palm are broken. The pursuers in the room behind her are noisy. Lin Luoran feels that her temples are throbbing. She doesn't see Goldie and Cyan Little Fox when she jumps out. It seems that more people are coming this way. Lin Luoran has no time to think about where Yang Lisha and Goldie are. She chooses a direction without footsteps and torches and jumps out of the low mud house. Except for the pursuers, the street is not as prosperous as it was in the later generations. There are similar mud walls and low mud houses everywhere. It is almost impossible to tell the direction here. Lin Luoran can only look into the distance. There are many beautiful buildings in the place which seems to be the inner city. There is a gate made of glazed bricks. It is the nearest landmark to Lin Luoran. The most dangerous place is the safest place. Besides, Lin Luoran has to sneak into the inner city to investigate the Tower of Babel. She approaches the gate carefully. When she gets closer, she finds that the gate is very beautiful. The arched gate is surrounded by 2 towers on both sides. There are 4 towers and 2 gates. The walls are covered with patterns made of colored glaze. Lin Luoran recognizes cattle and a beast on 4 feet. It has a fish head and a snake neck. Its body is covered with scales. Its forelimbs are like the feet of a lion and its hind limbs are like the claws of an eagle. It looks solemn and majestic. Lin Luoran thinks of all kinds of mythical beasts and monsters, but none of them matches this thing. If Lin Luoran is more familiar with the history of the Neo-Babylonian kingdom, she will recognize that this is the famous Ishtar Gate. The hanging garden, which will be called one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, will be built next to Ishtar Gate. Of course, there are guards at the gate. This is an important place of the Babylonian royal city. The guards are fully armored. Lin Luoran looks at the mud wall, which is more than 10 meters high. She is not sure if she can jump up. She can't break in by force. She can only wait. Lin Luoran hides in the shadow. She checks the space. She can take things out, but she can't hide in it. She is indeed restricted by time travel. Is there a force that restricts people like her from time travel? Is it possible that they will disturb the original history? Lin Luoran can't think of any other possibility. She feels a little dizzy. She takes the last teleport figure and the ice needle figure from the space and puts them in her pocket. There is also a disadvantage to falling out with the Qingqing Taoist temple. After using the last 2 figures, Lin Luoran has to say goodbye to these secret weapons which are suitable for home and travel. With these 2 magic figures, Lin Luoran feels that her life is more secure. She originally wanted to take out the bright sword, but Yang Lisha said before she escaped that there are other cultivators in the city. The bright sword is a grade 5 flying sword. Who knows if someone will covet it? Lin Luoran gives up. She can't control her wakan anyway. There are other cultivators. So, Yang Lisha is in a much more dangerous situation than she is. At least the Huaxia cultivators she meets are juniors. If she doesn't show her wealth, she won't be robbed. Yang Lisha is a monster. This is not the era when spells are declining. It should not be too difficult for the cultivators who can appear in the Babylonian city thousands of miles away to see through Yang Lisha's real body. Well, the dizziness is getting worse. Damn it! Is there something wrong with the food I ate tonight? Who said that ancient people were simple? Lin Luoran pulls a few mint leaves from the space and bites them under her tongue. She feels much more clear-headed. There is a hubbub in the gorgeous city gate. There are pure white fancy feather fans and 2 sedan chairs inlaid with gems. They are much more expensive than the one Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha took when they entered the city. 2 masked women are sitting on the sedan chairs. Their attendants seem to be negotiating with the soldiers guarding the city. Lin Luoran understands the word Medes. She remembers that it seems to be another ethnic group in the Mesopotamia basin, but she can't remember it clearly. She also doesn't know who they are. Obviously, the soldiers guarding the city understand the meaning of the word better than she does. They open the gate and respectfully make way for the group of people coming out at night to pass. Whether Babylon has a curfew or not like ancient Huaxia, the people who can open the gate in the middle of the night are all bigwigs. Lin Luoran looks at the white robe she is wearing. It matches well with the team of hundreds of maids. It's a chance to sneak in. Lin Luoran smears some on her face and neck to make her skin color darker. She also pulls down one sleeve of the robe so that it looks more like what local women wear. Oh, she also has to pull down the lower half of the skirt. The group has moved halfway. The soldiers don't dare to look up. Lin Luoran jumps out of the shadow. The maids are holding something in their hands. Lin Luoran is empty. She takes out a wooden box with painted flowers from the space and pretends to hold it in her hand. The swords and knives are only a few steps away from her. When Lin Luoran passes through the blue city wall and enters the gate, she is a little worried that she will be suddenly recognized. So many swords and knives will attack her at the same time. Even Tai Chi won't work. 1 minute feels like decades. Lin Luoran's neck is covered with cold sweat. When the bronze gate is closed against her heel, she finally breathes a sigh of relief. In front of her is the inner city of Babylon, which has become a ruin after more than 2,000 years. Lin Luoran takes a deep breath. The temple-like buildings in front of her are full of reliefs, patterns made of glazed bricks, decorations with rose patterns, bright blue, cyan, red, white, and yellow ribbons. It is far from the cornice of the ancient Huaxia palaces. It is more like a colorful round boulder. However, This is the Palace of Babylon, which also belongs to the 4 ancient civilizations. Lin Luoran quickens her pace. In front of the long line, the masked woman on the sedan chair suddenly blinks and smiles. Teacher, are you smiling? The other masked woman has a pair of clear eyes like the blue sky. She asks in Huaxia. Her accent is a little out of tune, but it is definitely the language of Huaxia. However, the accent is so strong that even Lin Luoran will have to recognize it for a while. The woman who is called teacher smiles. Amy, 'tis, we have a guest. Chapter 295. How on earth did she fall asleep? Lin Luoran touches the cold stone bed and sits up. This is a palace decorated with a lot of gold foil. It is as bright as day, full of the architectural features of Babylon. Lin Luoran knows that she has entered the palace. She didn't wake up and pass the test of the Tower of Babel and come back to the 21st century. However, she clearly remembers that she mingled with a group of maids and went to a place like a side hall. How can she sleep on such a bed? Compared with the people here, most of whom are still wearing linen clothes, this stone bed is covered with real silk. What did the textbook say? Didn't the Silk Road rise in the Western Han Dynasty? Then what about the silk bed sheets here? Lin Luoran feels indignant, but then she feels funny for her childishness. Since she stepped into the world of cultivation, the original history of this world has been subverted bit by bit. Calm down. Lin Luoran bites her tongue and looks around the empty hall. There is no one here. Gold and jewelry can't bring her warmth. Instead, it makes this place colder. She remembers some vulgar time travel novels such as The Favorite Concubine of the Pharaoh. The heroine always wakes up in the king's bed after time travel, which is so similar to the plot in front of her. Lin Luoran shivers and touches her pocket. The 2 pieces of figure paper that should have been lying there are gone. Lin Luoran turns over and sits up. She pulls the silk bed sheets off the bed and shakes them. Well, there is some dust on her face and arms. The 2 paper figures that she wants most are nowhere to be found. Are you looking for this thing? A clear female voice comes from the door of the hall. Lin Luoran suddenly stands up straight. It is a woman in a silk chignon. Thanks to the days when she studied in the University of Chuan to find the soul wood, Lin Luoran believes that she can't recognize chignon at first glance. The sleeves are so wide that they almost reach the ground. In fact, ordinary people often see this kind of clothes. Most of the statues of Confucius are dressed like this. In other words, does this Asian woman come from the spring and autumn period of Huaxia? Seeing a fellow villager, Lin Luoran's eyes are full of tears. She is not separated by more than 2,000 years, but she is defeated by the 2 paper figures in the woman's hands. Lin Luoran suddenly sobers up. Those who can appear in Babylon at this time must be senior cultivators. What did senior say just now? It sounded like a dialect. It sounded familiar. Lin Luoran looks confused. The woman in chignon is obviously defeated by Lin's silly look. A beam of light goes into Lin Luoran's eyebrows. Information flows in her brain. Just like the memory bead of White Fairy, Lin Luoran instantly turns on the plug-in called Universal Translator. She could actually understand chignon's dialect now. Greetings, senior. Cheat, this was a cheat. Lin Luoran shouts silently in her heart. She can speak the same accent as he does when she opens her mouth. The woman in chignon held the 2 paper talismans in her hand and said in disdain, "Who are you? Your cultivation is so low, yet you dare to get involved in this mess." The 2 paper figures are the proud works of Qingqing Taoist Temple. Lin Luoran is also angry that they are slapped in the face. However, she is not a good friend of Qingqing Taoist Temple, so she can't stand out. Then again, after more than 2,000 years, the world of cultivation will seriously deteriorate. Maybe these paper figures and Lin Luoran are really humble in the eyes of this woman. Alas! But how to answer her? She vaguely remembers that White Fairy once mentioned that she was from Misty Peak, and there is also a Joy School. Well, Zoo Mountain should also exist. The problem is that no one knows which school the woman in front of her belongs to. What if she is from one of the 3 schools? Thinking of this, Lin Luoran honestly lowers her head. I am an individual cultivator who passed by here. I heard that there is an interstellar transmission circle here, so I came to have a look. The woman in Shin-Yi snorts coldly, you are so evasive and vulgar. Why is your cultivation restricted? The Tower of Babel is a secret, and ordinary individual cultivators can't know it. I don't know who you offended, but you dare to sneak into my honor guard. So, you can stay in this hall and I will interrogate you tomorrow. Is this a disguised prison? Unarmed, Lin Luoran feels very insecure. Now she is 100% sure that she is very unlucky to meet a cultivator above the level of gathering vitality. Only cultivators like them can call themselves, I. Was she vulgar? She just didn't use words. She doesn't have to do this. A head pops out of the hall. Her eyes are blue, and her skin is white and glowing. She has a unique appearance of the people of the Two Rivers region. She has a high nose and is taller than the average height of this era. She is already as tall as Lin Luoran. This was a beautiful exotic girl wearing a long silk dress. Gemstone ornaments were braided into 2 braids, competing with her long brown hair for splendor. Lin Luoran instantly makes a judgment that this exotic girl is obviously a nobleman. In this era of low productivity, there is no doubt that noble girls are more beautiful than ordinary girls. Only enough food can meet the needs of body development, so she can be tall and slender, plump and charming. Only a reasonable diet can make her skin white and healthy. More importantly, her long brown hair is as shiny as the gems in her braids. She needs to take care of it, so she needs a lot of fruits and other luxuries. Madam, is she from your country? The exotic girl rushes in like a bird and stands next to the woman in Shin-Yi. Madam is such a familiar word. Well, this is the Arabic dialect. This time, Lin Luoran can understand it without missing a word. The plugin can translate more than one language. Lin Luoran is both surprised and surprised. She stares at the exotic girl with excitement. Language is the bridge of communication. Being able to understand the local language is very helpful for the investigation of the Tower of Babel. For this reason, Lin Luoran wants to thank the woman in Shin-Yi for putting her in jail. Amy Tiz, why are you here? A bride to be married should have a good rest. The coldness on the woman in Shin-Yi's face melts a lot. She says this, but she doesn't mean to blame Amy Tiz. Lin Luoran becomes invisible beside the woman. She thinks angrily that this woman always talks in a foreign language and calls her vulgar. Amy Tiz pouts. At that moment, Lin Luoran even feels that she sees another her. Madam, you haven't told Amy Tiz yet. Is she from your country? Does she also come from the mysterious East? The woman in Shin-Yi throws a warning look at Lin Luoran and nods helplessly. Amethyst's attention is attracted by the mysterious East. Her omnipotent teacher comes from there. Amy Tiz, what can I do for you? Amy Tiz pats her head. The high priest wants to discuss tomorrow's ceremony with you, madam. The woman in Shin-Yi nods and tells Amy Tiz not to run around. She walks away slowly. Lin Luoran breathes a sigh of relief. She is so nervous that she doesn't even look at the woman in Shin-Yi's face. This woman is too intimidating. Hello, I'm Amy Tiz from media. The beautiful girl says hello to Lin Luoran with a warm smile. Lin Luoran is flattered. This girl really doesn't regard herself as a stranger. Hello, I'm Lin Luoran from the distant East. In this kind of atmosphere, the only thing missing is a handshake. Otherwise, Lin Luoran will think that she has returned to the 21st century. There is no pressure to communicate. The girl speaks fluent local language, which is a good start. Since this local girl is obviously easier to deal with than the woman in Shin-Yi, Lin Luoran decides to start with her. By the way, what did the woman in Shin-Yi say just now? Wedding. Amy Tiz, are you going to have a wedding soon? She seems to be only 15 or 16 years old and she is about to get married. It turns out that early marriage is not a special case in ancient Huaxia. Amethyst's blue eyes are full of smiles. With the help of my teacher, I am going to marry the hero of Babylon. I am so happy that I can't sleep tonight. The woman in Shini is also in charge of matchmaking. Lin Luoran's intuition tells her that cultivators don't have this hobby. Why does she come here to be a matchmaker? Who is the hero of Babylon? Amy Tiz blushes. In Babylon, in the Mesopotamia plain, only Nebuchadnezzar can be called a hero. My teacher said that I can be a good queen, but in fact, I can do nothing. Amethyst's thoughts of these girls and the nervousness of a bride about to get married influence Lin Luoran. She listens quietly, but the name of the hero gradually matches with some information in her mind. Wait, Nebuchadnezzar. Could it be that Nebuchadnezzar too? Amy Tiz from media. God, isn't she the existence like Daji in the history of Huaxia? The girl in front of Lin Luoran is the future princess of Babylon, the one who asked Nebuchadnezzar to build the world-famous Hanging Garden for her. Chapter 296. The queen of Nebuchadnezzar II, Amy Tiz, who came from the Medes Hills, was sad because she missed the scenery of the mountains in her hometown. Nebuchadnezzar II built the Hanging Garden for her, which puzzled countless historians of later generations. No one knew if it really existed or not. If Lin Luoran hadn't returned to Neo-Babylon, she might have been moved by such a beautiful legend when she occasionally glanced at the documents that turned into runes. However, Lin Luoran will never forget the princess in front of her, even if she blushes when mentioning Nebuchadnezzar II, the disciple of a Huaxia cultivator. The surname of the woman in Shini is Ji. Amy Tiz doesn't know the meaning of this surname, but Lin Luoran can't ignore it as a native of Huaxia. At this time, the Zhou dynasty is about to collapse, but the Zhou family is still the legitimate royal family. Everyone in Huaxia is familiar with the names Ji Chang and Ji Fa. They grew up with investiture of the gods. The surname of the royal family of the Zhou dynasty is Ji. Why does a direct descendant of the royal family of the Zhou dynasty, as well as a cultivator, travel thousands of miles to recruit a princess of Media as her disciple? Is it just for the Tower of Babel? The Tower of Babel is a conspicuous building. If it has been built, Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha will be able to see it before they enter the city. So, the Tower of Babel hasn't been built at this time. These questions make her sleepless all night. Lin, can you attend my wedding tomorrow? Amy Tiz also has a sleepless night. The woman in Shini never returns, and the female slaves never dare to talk to her. The night before the wedding, Amy Tiz simply stays in the hall to talk to Lin Luoran and keep her company. Lin Luoran can imagine that tomorrow will be a grand wedding. However, the woman in Shini restricts her personal freedom. Lin Luoran doesn't dare to challenge the authority of the woman with the surname Ji since both figures are confiscated. Lin Luoran shakes her head at Amy Tiz regretfully to show her apology. Amy Tiz holds her cheek in her hand, and the firelight makes her smooth face look glorious. In fact, my teacher looks strict, but she is really a nice person. Don't worry. I will help you persuade my teacher. Lin Luoran is in tears. She really wants to tell the little girl that her teacher is probably up to no good. But to watch the Babylonian wedding? The mission given by Tong Tian Tower, what exactly did it want her to do? Would it be easier for her to integrate into this era? Lin Luoran thinks for a while and stares at Amy Tiz with an expectant look of, I really want to go. Well, it is a little unkind. It seems that she is deceiving the little girl. However, Amy Tiz is very happy. She holds Lin Luoran and giggles. Lin Luoran has a good impression of this exotic girl, whose character is really likely hers. Alas, Lin Luoran doesn't know what obstacles Mr. Lin and Yuan Yu will encounter. She hopes they won't be as unlucky as her. Apart from the inside of the hall, the sky outside was still very dark. A group of female slaves rushed in. They were holding flowers and satin in their hands, long dresses interwoven with golden threads, and belts studded with jewels. It was easy to imagine that tomorrow's wedding would be complicated. Someone carries a white sticky liquid. It smells like milk. Is she going to take a bath with this? Lin Luoran remembers what Xiao Xiaomu said on the bank of the Euphrates River. This is the Mesopotamian plain flowing with milk and honey. It is not as barren as Lin Luoran imagined. After taking a bath with milk, Amy Tiz doesn't avoid dressing in front of Lin Luoran. This is still an open era, not like the Huaxia years later. In a certain dynasty, women were ordered to follow the 3 obediences and 4 virtues. Women's feet were bound, and if a strange man saw their naked neck, they might commit suicide. Amy Tiz is a passionate and unrestrained girl. A young body should be beautiful. She looks calm and doesn't seem to be embarrassed at all. Lin Luoran is interested to see those female slaves dress Amy Tiz in gorgeous dresses and belts. 2 female slaves are braiding her hair and putting on makeup. The makeup skills of more than 2,000 years ago are really eye-opening for Lin Luoran. There are 2 colors of powder, blue and black. Lin Luoran sniffs it. It seems to be made of some kind of ore. Is it not good to apply the ore powder directly to the eye sockets? Lin Luoran remembers that there is still a set of high-end cosmetics in the space that Baojia gave her a few years ago. It hasn't been opened yet. With the preservation ability of the space, it should still be usable. Lin Luoran takes it out. The colorful pearl eyeshadow really attracts Amethyst's attention. Lin, what are these? They are so beautiful. There are more than a dozen colorful pearl eyeshadows. Of course, they are more attractive than the monotonous blue and black. Amy Tiz loves them so much that she can't put them down. Lin Luoran coughs. I think I may be able to do a different bride makeup for the princess. The obedient female slaves look at Lin Luoran in surprise as if she is a monster that will eat people. Lin Luoran touches her nose embarrassedly. This proposal is indeed a bit risky. This is a real national wedding. Not to mention the red tape, the queen must have special requirements for her makeup and clothes. However, Amethyst's eyes light up. Lin Luoran has a premonition that she may have shot herself in the foot. How on earth did I do this? Amy Tiz looks at herself in the bronze mirror. Her eyelashes used to be thick enough, but they are not like now. When she blinks, her eyelashes look like small fans. An elegant flower is outlined with blue powder in her left eye. She doesn't know this kind of flower, but it looks really beautiful. Her eyebrows are thick, and her skin is covered with a thin layer of white powder. Amy Tiz is surprised by the different bride makeup that Lin Luoran said. It is different from that of Media and Babylon. It looks strange at first, but Amy Tiz soon finds that this strange makeup covers all her small flaws. Her nose is straighter, her eyes are deep blue, and her lips seem to be smeared with a layer of honey, moist and lustrous. Amy Tiz is surprised by the mysterious oriental products. In fact, Lin Luoran is also quite surprised that the bronze mirror has no national boundaries. Because it is polished smoothly, it is clearer than what is depicted in many novels. At least, Amy Tiz can see her own face clearly, which is much more reliable than using water. The female slaves are frightened, which makes Lin Luoran feel stressed. It is just an ordinary stage makeup in the 21st century. It should be enough for the celebration, right? She puts a golden-laid ruby on Amethyst's forehead. She is already a well-prepared bride of Babylon. It is not dawn yet, but the palace is filled with the sound of musical instruments. The melodious sound of guqin mixed with metal percussion is heard. Amy Tiz invites Lin Luoran to attend the wedding as the makeup artist of the palace. Lin Luoran follows the sedan carefully. She is relieved that she doesn't find the woman surnamed Ji. Amy Tiz is dignified and beautiful. She will officially become the princess of Babylon soon. On such a formal occasion, Lin Luoran must not be a little girl. Before they get out of the palace, another sedan comes to them. Seeing the sweetness on Amethyst's face, Lin Luoran knows that it is Nebuchadnezzar too who is sitting on the sedan. Even the beard on his face can't hide the fact that he is much older than Amethyst. Lin Luoran has to behave herself like the other female slaves. She doesn't stare at the king of Babylon. Instead, her eyes fall on the sedan. The people holding the ox head harp are the court musicians, right? There are also gong-like, tambourine, and other musical instruments that she doesn't know. Nebuchadnezzar is stunned when he sees Amethyst clearly. The things painted on his new princess's face are not in line with the Babylonian tradition at all. However, when he looks at her again, she seems to be even more beautiful than when Amethyst arrived. Lin Luoran still doesn't know that being recognized by Nebuchadnezzar, she has actually been promoted as the temporary makeup artist of the palace. After the two sedan teams meet, the bride and bridegroom don't talk to each other. They walk along the high city wall to the Is there a gate? Babylonian people are cheering outside the wall. The Marduk temple, which is very important to Babylon, is in front of them. The road from the Is there a gate to the Marduk temple is the famous ceremonial avenue, where religious activities are held during grand ceremonies. According to Amethyst, she and Nebuchadnezzar will receive the blessings of the high priest in the Marduk temple. Then, they will have a carnival with all the people of Babylon. Chapter 297. Marduk is the god of the Babylonian city-states. In the eyes of the Babylonians, the throne of the Babylonian king is granted by Marduk, and the monks in the temple are the servants of Marduk. The people need to be protected by the Babylonian king and please Marduk in exchange for his grace to ensure the permanence of the country and the city. Only the Babylonian king and the monks are allowed to enter the temple. On a special day like today, the king can bring his wife, Amethyst, the princess of Media, into the temple to get the blessing of Marduk. The ceremony is very long. Lin Luoran, like others, can only wait outside the temple devoutly. There is a stone tower next to the temple. It is about 15 or 16 meters high, only one head higher than the solid and towering inner city wall. Compared with the magnificent temple, it is a little shabby. The buildings in the inner city of Babylon are all colorful and gorgeous. Lin Luoran even glimpsed that the top of the temple is made of gold. How can there be such an inconspicuous stone tower in such an important place for Babylon? Something is wrong. The ceremony of blessing the newlyweds in the temple lasts for a long time. Lin Luoran has to find something to think about. It is impossible to ask the female slaves around her. They don't dare to look up and talk to her. The monks who stay outside the temple stare at Lin Luoran with displeasure. In their eyes, it is blasphemy to Marduk to look at the people in the temple quietly on such an occasion. When Nebuchadnezzar and Amethyst come out side by side, Lin Luoran has an idea. Babylon is short of stones. All buildings are made of clay and bricks, except for the inconspicuous stone tower in front of her and the splendid temple of Marduk next to it. Why are precious stones used on such an inconspicuous stone tower? The monks come forward and whisper something to the high priest. A pair of eyes looks at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran only sees the deep wrinkles in the eyes. It is a face carved by time. The woman surnamed Ji has been gone for a long time. Lin Luoran feels guilty about the high priest for no reason. Lin Luoran shrinks into the line of female slaves. Your Highness, is this one wearing silk also the female slave you brought from Media? The high priest doesn't let her go just because she shrinks. Lin Luoran curses herself for wearing silk. Now she looks like a red-crowned crane among a group of white cranes. Amethyst's hand is held by Nebuchadnezzar. Smelling his fragrance, she says absent-mindedly, Lin is not a female slave. She is a distinguished guest of Media. She lowers her voice and says, My king, it is Lin who does the makeup for me. Nebuchadnezzar laughed and immediately chased away the old-fashioned look on his face. Amethyst, your friend can really be a court painter. There is no difference between painting and makeup in the eyes of the king of Babylon who has been fighting all over the world. Lin Luoran's appearance is not in line with Babylonian aesthetics, so Nebuchadnezzar's eyes don't stay on her for long. High Priest, I plan to rebuild the Tower of Babel to worship the god Marduk. What do you think? Nebuchadnezzar stood in front of the steps of the temple and talked to the high priest. Hearing the word, Babel, Lin Luoran's ears stand up automatically. The more the king attached importance to religious activities and devoutly believed in Marduk, it would be best to build temples all over the country so that the interests of the monk group could be guaranteed and expanded. The high priest had no reason to refuse, but when he heard that it was to rebuild the Tower of Babel, the old priest hesitated for a while before nodding. Nebuchadnezzar takes Amethyst's hand and walks to the edge of the stone tower. Amethyst, this is the gate of God of Babylon. I will build it to the sky and enshrine Marduk in it. We can also climb to the top of the tower and look down at our kingdom. At this moment, Nebuchadnezzar is full of heroism. Amethyst looks at her hero with longing and intoxication. Only Lin Luoran almost falls down. This humble stone tower turns out to be the Tower of Babel. No, it should be the predecessor of the Tower of Babel. It has not reached the sky yet. This tower, only the rebuilt Tower of Babel, can bring her back to the 21st century. Is this the test of the level? Lin Luoran's mind is in a mess. The high priest's eyes are full of stories. He sees the happy and sad expressions on Lin Luoran's face. My king, it's time for you to accept the people's congratulations with the princess. The high priest wakes up Nebuchadnezzar, and the cheers of the people outside the wall never stop. The Babylonian people are expecting their king to show up with the princess. Nebuchadnezzar holds Amethyst's hand and gets on the sedan chair together. The slaves, musicians, and guards all start to move. Lin Luoran is about to follow them, but two monks stand in front of her. Lin Luoran is alert and surprised. She doesn't know why they stop her. The high priest laughs, court painters. You Huaxia cultivators are really willing to do anything to enter the Tower of Babel. Lin Luoran's neck is stiff. She feels that she is seen through. Should she refuse to admit it, talk about something else, or catch up with Amethyst and ask for protection? Several thoughts are fighting in her mind. She is naturally cautious, but there is also a trace of risk factor in her mind. Is this the best chance for her to get close to the Tower of Babel? Where are you from? The high priest stares at her for a while and suddenly asks. To live or to die? To hide or to fight? Lin Luoran's body has responded instinctively. She shows a gentle and harmless smile. High priest, my daughter is from the east. Mrs. Lin says that she has a good relationship with the elders since she was a child. Taoist masters of the three pristines bless her. Mrs. Lin must be telling the truth. The wrinkled high priest shakes his head. You are not like those arrogant Easterners who want to seize the Tower of Babel. Little girl, are you really from the East? Lin Luoran is in a cold sweat. High priest, you must be joking. My daughter is indeed from the Huaxia of the East. She adds in her heart that she is from the Huaxia of the East more than 2,000 years later. She is not lying, is she? The high priest is non-committal about her answer. Your personal ability is very low. Since you are here for the Tower of Babel, why don't you go and see it? Are you willing? Lin Luoran doubts that she misheard. Is the old man inviting her to enter the tower? Could it be that Taoist masters of the three pristines have heard her wish? In fact, it is more likely that it is a trap. The high priest looks at her quietly without sadness or joy. Lin Luoran is a little frustrated. She doesn't want to see whether she agrees or not. It doesn't matter in the eyes of the high priest's unfathomable personal ability. There is a saying in Huaxia that obedience is better than politeness. High priest, please go first. This saying is also from Huaxia, but it is not used in the spring and autumn period. At this moment, there are no other people here except for these Babylonian monks. Lin Luoran is not afraid of giving herself away, so she makes it up casually. The monks return to the temple. The old priest walks in the front barefoot. Lin Luoran's legs are very stiff. Since the Tower of Babel has existed for a long time, she has guessed wrong. Maybe it is not built by Huaxia cultivators, but by the female cultivator surnamed Ji. She wants to seize the things that belong to Babylon. Judging from her roundabout tactics, she even accepted the Mede's princess as her apprentice. Lin Luoran doesn't know how many years she has been planning this. Has something happened in Huaxia at this time that makes the female cultivator surnamed Ji want to seize the interstellar transmission circle? Lin Luoran is uneasy. The high priest seems not to notice her ups and downs. He has been walking in the front unhurriedly. He never thinks that Lin Luoran will run away. At this time, the stone tower is not magnificent. It is very different from the Tower of Babel that appears in the void when they come here. However, when Lin Luoran steps into the stone gate, she is very nervous. There is no guiding light or crystal ball. This is indeed not the Tower of Babel that will appear in 2,600 years. Lin Luoran is a little disappointed. The high priest waves his hand and the stone gate is closed slowly. Lin Luoran doesn't notice any trace of Wakan. There is a dome inside the tower. After the stone gate is closed, there is twinkling light above the dome. Those moving twinkling light spots and wonderful orbits are so familiar. Lin Luoran is so shocked that she blurts out, "Star Atlas." Above the dome of the tower, the twinkling light spot is the first stage Star Atlas on the jade stairs that almost makes her lose her way. The wrinkles on the high priest's face are deeper. Do you know Star Atlas? Chapter 298. Priest, this is just a corner of the starry sky above us. It is called Star Atlas. Is there a problem? Lin Luoran blinks blankly. She seems to be confused. The priest stares at her with his weathered eyes. Lin Luoran knows that this moment is very important, so she still stares back at the priest's eyes with confusion. There is a deep wrinkle next to his eyes. This is a competition of endurance and calmness. Lin Luoran can't say that she is a person from more than 2,000 years later. She can only choose to persist. Compared with West Asians, the facial features of Huaxia people are slightly lighter. Lin Luoran seems to be in her early 20s with low personal ability. The priest stares at her for a long time. It is not that Lin Luoran's acting skills are superb, but he doesn't believe that an Eastern woman with negligible personal ability can know about the profound Star Atlas. Lin Luoran doesn't relax. The priest remains silent. In fact, Lin Luoran's heart has sunk to the bottom. If she had known that there is a Star Atlas above the dome of the Tower of Babel, she would not have come here even if she wanted to finish the task. Astronomy has always been an important part of religion. Regardless of East or West, regardless of national boundaries, it will always be in the hands of the smallest people, let alone the Star Atlas engraved in the interstellar transmission circle of the Tower of Babel. This must be a secret that can't be known by outsiders. It is even the key for the woman surnamed Ji to enter the Tower of Babel. Knowing too many secrets will kill you. When Lin Luoran thinks of the lines that often appear in novels and TV shows, "Only the dead can keep secrets," she wants to knock herself to death. The old man has deep wrinkles on his face, but he still squeezes out a smile when Lin Luoran is frightened. The Tower of Babel will guide people's souls to the Holy Kingdom. Don't worry, you are not qualified to die here. Lin Luoran reluctantly gives him a not-so-brilliant smile. If Baojia were here, she would definitely say, "Fuck you," to him. What the priest means is that Lin Luoran is so humble that she doesn't deserve to die in this tower. She will dirty the Tower of Babel. How will the priest deal with her? "Priest, the oracle is here." It is the voice of the monk outside the tower. Lin Luoran's hair stands on end. She doesn't know whether the sudden voice will save her or kill her. The priest doesn't seem to like the oracle mentioned by the monk. Lin Luoran can clearly see his impatience. She will be dealt with in a few seconds. Lin Luoran can't just give up. She tries to contact Fire Phoenix. "Please, don't let the god of space and time reconcile this. This empress's physical body can roam the galaxy. Why would I need this tiny interstellar teleportation formation? Therefore, I don't know. Fire Phoenix Ao Jiao's voice drifted over. Lin Luoran just wants to tell it to get out. Talk to him about astronomy. The soft voice of the silver fish comes. Lin Luoran wants to hug and kiss it. High Priest, I've actually come from the east because I admire the astronomy of your country. I've long heard of your attainments in astronomy. I wonder if I could learn from you. Lin Luoran is almost confused by how to express the genteel language of Huaxia in Babylonian. The High Priest finally lifted his eyelids. As expected, you can recognize the star map. Come with me, let's go meet the divine emissary. I don't need to die right away. Lin Luoran almost burst into tears. She should have admitted that she knew the star map. Why did she have to say that she came from the future? She could have explained everything by saying that she studied astronomy. Shaking off the cold sweat on her body, the stone door opened again. Lin Luoran feels that she has just walked on the edge of life and death. The dazzling sunshine is extraordinarily beautiful. The High Priest is walking to the temple. When he passes by the monks, they all look pious. In such a solemn atmosphere, even a playful person would become quiet. When she followed the High Priest without looking sideways, the monks gave her a sidelong glance. She is slender, tall, and calm, but she is not arrogant enough to think that these monks are attracted to her. These people are not like the pampered religious leaders, but more like the ascetic monks in the future. Lin Luoran has the mood to observe the back of the High Priest after escaping from death. The simple clothes of the High Priest are incompatible with the whole glorious Babylon city. Lin Luoran can feel the sincere devotion of these monks to the temple and the High Priest. After following the High Priest into the temple, Lin Luoran soon finds out why these monks look at her like this. Of course, there is no chair in the temple, but there is a long golden couch. It is said that the god Marduk, like other Babylonian gods, is used to lying down to eat. There is a person lying on the golden couch. To be exact, it is an extremely beautiful Huaxia woman. White Fairy is the most beautiful woman of the same sex that Lin Luoran has ever seen. The vivacious feeling of a palace lady leaves a deep impression on Lin Luoran. However, compared with the woman in front of her, White Fairy immediately turns from a palace peony into a wild lily. Lin Luoran doesn't know how to describe it. The facial features are not the most important thing. The eyes of Lin Luoran make her feel as if she is looking at a god. Lin Luoran secretly feels that this cold and noble look is a bit familiar. Lin Luoran secretly lowers her head. She must not have seen Her Majesty from more than 2,000 years ago. The woman surnamed Ji in Shini is now serving Her Majesty with several cultivators in similar clothes. Lin Luoran finally knows what is going on with the expression on the woman surnamed Ji's face. She obviously learned it from her master. Yes, these people must be cultivators, and they are led by Her Majesty. Is this the oracle that the monks talk about? Do they often appear in Babylon? Is it because of their oriental appearance that the Ajaib family mistook Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha for the oracle? Long time no see, High Priest. You are still so energetic. The woman on the golden couch says lazily. Lin Luoran is sure that she sees the High Priest's eyebrows tremble. Oracle, the 100 years we agreed on is not up yet. You Huaxia people can't wait anymore. Her Majesty covers her mouth and smiles. Even if we give you another 100 years, you still can't calculate the distance between the Earth and Mars. In this case, we naturally have to take over the Tower of Babylon. The High Priest is speechless. He is a little angry. It's not even 100 years, and you are already meddling in the internal affairs of Babylon. Do you really think that Babylon is so useless? Who is this woman? Why does she ask the High Priest to calculate the distance between the Earth and Mars? In the 21st century, no one can answer the question casually because the distance between the Earth and Mars is very different from the farthest. The distance is constantly changing in the 15-year cycle. Even if the Babylonian astrology is so advanced that the high priest can know the orbit of the celestial bodies, Lin Luoran doesn't think he can answer this question. Mars is about 55 million kilometers away from the Earth at its closest point and 400 million kilometers at its farthest point. This is clearly a trap. In 2003, if it weren't for the rare day when Mars was the closest to the Earth in the past 60,000 years, Baojia dragged her to look at Mars in the cold wind for a whole night. Lin Luoran wouldn't remember the two extremely far and extremely close numbers. Thinking about this, Lin Luoran looks strange. This Huaxia woman, who is called an oracle by the high priest, wants to take over the Tower of Babylon. Is it for interstellar transmission or for something else? Lin Luoran doesn't dare to answer the question for the high priest. She continues to be invisible. The high priest's face is very sullen. Lin Luoran feels that if they really fight, he probably can't defeat these people, so he is holding back. Should she go back to the Huaxia cultivators as her compatriots? Looking at the unkind eyes of the woman surnamed Ji, Lin Luoran can't help but give up this idea. She needs to see the situation clearly. The two sides are obviously in a stalemate. The high priest can't answer the question, nor is he willing to fight with the Huaxia cultivators. Lin Luoran hears giggles outside. What's wrong with you? A man dressed in gaudy clothes came through the wall. The corners of his eyes were so high that it made people want to step on him. Saintess, who made you angry? Come on, let's cool down. The lady boy comes through the wall and goes straight to the golden mansion. The woman surnamed Ji and the others unsheath their flying swords and stop in front of him. The ladyboy raises his thumb and middle finger. Oh, you humans are so boring. Can't you even joke? Only aliens will call cultivators human. Lin Luoran hides behind the high priest. She doesn't know what kind of monster this ladyboy is. How can he be so arrogant in front of the saintess? Saintess, the rumbling thunder clears the chaos in her mind. Lin Luoran clenches her fists. Why does she look so familiar? Because some people's temperament will never change no matter how many times they change their faces. The only one she knows is the saintess of the Jiuli tribe who occupied Baojia's body and wanted to leave the earth through the jade stairs. This woman is the fake saintess. Did she travel to Babylon more than 2,000 years ago for Lin Luoran to meet the fake saintess? Lin Luoran suddenly comes to her senses. More than 2,000 years later, the fake saintess is still on the earth, which means she didn't leave through the interstellar transmission circle. Is it because the high priest stopped her? Or does she want to get the Tower of Babel instead of leaving the earth? No, she can't let the fake saintess get the Tower of Babel. She is the most important person in the world of cultivation on the earth. Lin Luoran takes a step away and murmurs, High Priest, we just talked about the distance between the Earth and Mars in the Tower of Babel. Why didn't you tell the oracle? Lin Luoran's voice is so low that she seems to be talking to herself. However, all the people in the temple hear her clearly. The lady boy comes over and looks at her. It's you. A little girl is looking for you. Which little girl would look for her more than 2,000 years ago? Does this lady boy know Amy 'tis and the celebration is over? The lady boy opens his palm. Lin Luoran's eyes widen. In his smooth palm, there is a petal with a small girl sleeping in it. Of course, it is not Thumbelina. It is young Lisha, the female monster. Although they have only been apart for one day, Lin Luoran has never felt so happy to see young Lisha again. Seeing Lin Luoran's happy face, the lady boy blows on his palm. The petal falls down. Young Lisha opens her eyes and jumps to the ground. She grows with the wind and becomes the size of a real person again. What is this? Magic? Lin Luoran is confused. This is obviously beyond the scope of spells of the 5 elements. It is like the world in the sleeve of Zenyuanzi in the journey to the west. Lin Luoran is full of doubts. Young Lisha shakes her head gently. The female monster is much calmer than Lin Luoran. It is really not a good time to ask questions. Because when Lin Luoran reunited with Yang Lisha, the woman surnamed Ji has whispered to the fake saintess about Lin Luoran's background. The fake saintess looks at Lin Luoran lightly. Her eyes are floating high and will never fall to the ground. Is this why she didn't recognize Lin Luoran in the Kalahari Desert even though she has seen Lin Luoran? Time and space are intertwined. Which one happened first? Is this the so-called paradox of history? You just said that you know the distance between the Earth star and Mars. What a sweet voice, but the tone is extremely cold. Lin Luoran says under everyone's gaze, Oracle, I don't know. The priest told me just now. In fact, he has already calculated it. Lin Luoran can feel that the priest next to her is stiff. She secretly prays, please, it depends on the situation. We are more like the same boat. You have to trust me this time. The priest seems to hear Lin Luoran's prayer. He hides his instinctive hesitation. He doesn't trust Lin Luoran's character, but her strange time and behavior. She is so young, but she knows the star atlas. Therefore, Lin Luoran sees an old face full of smiles. Then please reply to the oracle for me. Yang Lisha looks at Lin Luoran worriedly. This human female cultivator even needs her to explain the common knowledge of time and space. Can she really remember the distance between the Earth and Mars? At least she doesn't know. Many college students in the 21st century who don't major in related fields may not know it either. The distance between the Earth star and Mars is relatively changing. It is not fixed. Lin Luoran takes a deep breath and answers slowly. The fake saintess raises her eyebrows. She seems to be a little interested, oh. The priest is a little disappointed. He has been involved in this for many years. Of course, he knows that the distance between the Earth star and Mars is not fixed. This is not a correct answer at all. However, the Huaxia girl raised her voice slightly in the midst of the high priest's disappointment. However, the distance between them is actually a cycle of 15 years. The closest is only about 110 million kilometers, and the furthest is 800 million kilometers. Honorable Oracle, is my daughter correct? Li is the unit of distance commonly used in Huaxia at this time. Lin Luoran's voice is clear. When she finishes talking about the distance between the two places, even the woman surnamed Ji looks at her in surprise. The saintess, who is high and mighty like a queen, finally changes her posture. She sits up and holds her head high. She hesitates and says something quickly. Her arrogant voice and vague words make everyone present unable to understand the language used by the fake saintess. Lin Luoran feels dizzy. Time goes back and she sees the man in robe in her dream for the second time. The background was no longer Earth, but a planet that looked like an emerald. The man in the robe stood in the void, and the satellites circled around him, but no one gave any warning. He slowly descended. The planet was like an emerald. It turned out that it was not plants everywhere, but the buildings here were all green. The planet is covered with green and the local people have green skin. Lin Luoran can see a few pictures. The technology here is far beyond the technology of the Earth by thousands or even tens of thousands of years. The man in robe seems to be a little disappointed. He is about to leave when a sharp alarm rings. The airship floating in the air is ready to launch countless powerful energy beams. All of them are aimed at the man in robe. He is a dangerous intruder. The voice speaks the same language as that of the fake saintess. The whole city is filled with questions from the electronic voice. What is it saying? Lin Luoran's face turns pale. This is what the man in robe experienced. Is it recorded by the bead? It is a glimpse of the era of the big universe. When the fake saintess impatiently asks again, she feels that she understands it. No, it is the man in robe who understands the question of the electronic voice. It is a mechanical, emotionless repeated question, warning. Which planet are you from? Warning. Which planet are you from? Ah. Lin Luoran squats down holding her head. She repeatedly hears the emotionless mechanical voice. It is dull, like the noise of a cassette. Which planet are you from? No one knows what is wrong with her. Young Lisha is a little worried. The sissy man squats down. Saintess, what did you do to the little girl? Her spiritual mind is in a mess. A green light overflows from the sissy man's palm. Lin Luoran's pain is relieved. Her face is covered with sweat and her lips are pale. The beautiful eyebrows of the fake saintess slightly wrinkles. She stands up from the golden couch and walks down barefoot. Yang Lisha wants to protect Lin Luoran, but the sissy man pinches her and pushes her aside with 2 fingers. Ancestor. Yang Lisha is a little annoyed. The sissy man laughs. Shoo, little girl. This is their family business. Let's not get involved. Yang Lisha is speechless. Others don't know, but she and Lin Luoran travel through time together. How can she not know that there is a family business between them? The fake saintess lifts Lin Luoran's face. A beam of light goes into Lin Luoran's eyebrows with a dim light flashing in her eyes. Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness is extremely fragile. However, there is another layer of power protecting it and concealing the truth. The fake saintess doesn't see anything. What? The fake saintess is surprised. She has never seen such an empty ocean of consciousness. The tingling in her brain calms down. Lin Luoran's lips are no longer trembling. She feels that her chin is clamped by something and suddenly opens her eyes. The fake saintess doesn't miss the light in Lin Luoran's eyes. The latter is scared by Lin Luoran's tearful but smiling eyes. Do you want to know, which planet am I from? The indifferent reply and the arrogant voice is not the dialect of a remote village. It is the interstellar standard interstellar language. The indifferent face of the fake saintess finally changes. The woman surnamed Ji transplanted a translator into this little human female cultivator, but she is sure that the interstellar standard language is not included in it. Because the translator was originally given by her. Lin Luoran laughs with tears in her eyes. You want to know which planet am I from? Why don't you tell me where you are from? Chapter 299. Where am I from? The fake saintess is stunned. Time flies. The time she has spent on the earth has even exceeded the time she spent on the mother planet. She can hardly remember the name of the mother planet. Open the Tower of Babel. Priest, I have no time to talk nonsense with you. Lin Luoran is smiling, but her eyes are full of tears. The fake saintess doesn't know what hurt her. She grabs Lin Luoran from the ground. No matter which galaxy you belong to, your host body is so weak. What's the use? She lowers her voice and gnashes her teeth in Lin Luoran's ear. Of course, she uses the interstellar standard language. The saintess, or oracle, that people are used to is always cold and noble. She has never been so hysterical. No one can guess what Lin Luoran said to make the saintess lose her self-control and become extremely furious. Only Lin Luoran knows that she has hit the fake saintess' sore spot. She thinks that compared with the galactic civilization in the era of the big universe, the Earth is still in the barbaric period. No one can calculate the distance between the Earth and Mars, let alone understand the interstellar language. Therefore, she regards Lin Luoran as the same existence as her. Of course, the priest refuses to open the Tower of Babel. The fake saintess snorts. What's the use of guarding the tower? Do you know the coordinates of the galaxy? Do you know how to activate the transmission? Marduk will not teach you how to transmit to the moon. The priest is shocked. That is the place to the Holy Kingdom. You Easterners don't have the heart to serve the gods, so it is impossible for you to use it. The priest said that the Tower of Babel can send people's souls to the Holy Kingdom. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that maybe it is not referring to the soul, but a cultivator with a strong spiritual mind. Only by entering the Tower of Babel and passing the test can one start the interstellar transmission. Where does the end of the universe lead to? What does the galaxy coordinates that the fake scientist said have to do with the star atlas? Is the Tower of Babel a fixed-point transmission, or can it be used to specify the destination? The sissy man shrugs. Priest, I guess you don't want Babylon to become a land of war, right? To be honest, no matter how many monks there are in the temple, they probably can't compete with this. He opens his palm and Lin recognizes that it is a handful of ordinary soybeans. The ladyboy sprinkles the soybeans. Similar to what young Lisha did just now, the soybeans roll on the ground and grow into a group of soldiers in yellow armor. They stand inside the temple and stare at the high priest coldly. Magic bean soldiers. This was the legendary magic bean soldiers in Huaxia. Because she is so close to the saintess, Lin Luoran can even see the envy in the eyes of the fake saintess. Everything is connected. Why does the fake saintess want to destroy the cultivation civilization on the earth? Isn't it the best choice for her to bring the knowledge of cultivation back to the planet where she came from? Is it because she can't leave, or she can't learn those wonderful spells at all, she can only hide in the body of an earthling? Is that why she tries to take Baojia's body away after more than 2,000 years? If she can only learn and use these spells and refine Reiki by possessing the body of an earthling or a Huaxia person, maybe it can explain why she has stayed on the earth for so many years. Lin Luoran is not happy. Instead, she is very disappointed. If only Huaxia people have the Taoist root of cultivation, and the fake saintess still can't solve it after so many years, can finding Mount Penglai really solve the problem of Mrs. Lin's Taoist root? Lin Luoran has deep doubts and despair. The fake saintess looks at Lin Luoran. The light in her eyes fades little by little. You haven't told me which galaxy and which planet are you from? Lin Luoran pushes the saintess's hand away from her collar. Is it necessary? We have different purposes. Let's mind our own business. Yang Lisha doesn't know what's on Lin Luoran's mind, but she can sense Lin Luoran's disappointment. Yang Lisha feels a little worried after knowing the secret of the Tower of Babel. Of course, she is not worried about Lin Luoran, but about the soul wood. I've got the ancient book of the monsters of wood. The priest is dispirited and leaves the temple with a group of people. Yang Lisha is a step behind and deliberately says in Lin Luoran's ear. Lin Luoran's eyes light up and then dim again. Yang Lisha thinks she doesn't believe it. Her hand suddenly shines and a book-like thing made of unknown leaves appears in her hand. Does Mount Penglai really exist? Even if Mount Penglai really exists, there is no way to rebuild the Taoist root. Immortals are extinct. Yang Lisha turns her hand and puts the book away. Of course it exists. Otherwise, what do you think the ancestor used just now? Do you think the spells of the 5 elements can make something out of nothing and turn beans into soldiers? The ancestor mentioned by Yang Lisha is the sissy man, right? He is dressed in colorful clothes. Lin Luoran doesn't know what kind of monster he is, but he must be a member of the monsters of wood. Spells of the 5 elements all rely on the power of the 5 elements to attack or defend. Lin Luoran certainly doesn't expect it to do what it did just now. The sissy man takes back his hand and the bean soldiers turn back into soybeans. Lin Luoran doesn't know where he has hidden them. Seeing everyone's attention is on the stone tower, Yang Lisha feels that she must leak some information to Lin Luoran. If Lin Luoran loses her fighting spirit, they will be obliterated if their performance is so bad that even the Tower of Babel can't tolerate it. Talk. Of course not. Except for the 2 of them, all the people here are above the level of gathering vitality. Yang Lisha even suspects that the saintess is a legendary figure from the ancient times of cultivation. Therefore, Yang Lisha writes down the whole story on Lin Luoran's back. Lin Luoran is stunned. Pinyin was popularized more than 2,600 years after the founding of the state of Huaxia. No matter how many years the old monsters here have lived, the interstellar translator can't translate the pinyin of the state of Huaxia. Of course, Lin Luoran thinks too much. The situation is one-sided. The priest is forced to open the door of the tower. The fake saintess, the sissy man, and several cultivators of the state of Huaxia are all focused on the star atlas on the dome. They don't have time to care about the little tricks of the two little people. There are treasures left by immortals on Mount Penglai. The ancestor has been there. The bean soldiers he just used is the spell he learned from Mount Penglai. If you focus on techniques, you will fall to a lower level. If you focus on techniques and follow the laws of heaven and earth, you will be able to use techniques. You should believe me now. Yang Lisha writes very slowly. Lin Luoran's expression changes from sloppy to serious. The sissy man, that ancestor, Yang Lisha mentioned, used the bean soldiers. Of course, it can't be a camouflage or illusion spell. It can fool Lin Luoran's clear eyes, but it can't make the priest, who can make Lin Luoran sweaty, retreat. Those bean soldiers must be powerful. Is this what Yang Lisha meant by, the law is supreme? There are no colorful lights, gorgeous moves, or solid defense. This is a higher and more mysterious power, the art of nature. The gate of the Tower of Babel is closed. The spiritual mind of the fake saintess is like turning on a touchscreen computer. The star atlas on the dome flashes in front of her eyes. She looks at every star carefully. There are no familiar nebulae, galaxies, meteorite belts, or stars. This star atlas is still far away from her hometown. Chapter 300. The crystal ball shines brightly. Before Lin Luoran can rejoice, she sees the real ability of the priest. His hand, which was full of veins, trembled slightly, and one of the stars on the star chart in the sky lit up abnormally. The temperature in the room had dropped by more than a few dozen degrees. It's noon in Babylon. How can it be so cold? The water vapor evaporating from Lin Luoran's body instantly turns into frost on the surface of her skin. Not only Lin Luoran, but everyone in the room, except the old priest, is frozen. Even Lin Luoran, who can't use spells, can easily get rid of such a thin layer of ice, let alone others. However, Lin Luoran seems to be under a spell. She can't do anything except for moving her eyeballs. A thin line connects the stars on the dome to the crystal ball. Lin Luoran recognizes that it is the moon. Thinking of the coldness in the room, Lin Luoran realizes that the priest of Babylon is using the power of stars. Is this the reason why the Babylonian religion is so crazy about astronomical stars? The power of stars. The opening of the Night of Bermuda Festival and the powerful Arrow of Light are all things that Lin Luoran knows are contaminated with the power of stars. No, there is also the Diliu syrup, which will fall with the moonlight every 60 years. This sissy man and even Yang Lisha were born on a moonlit night. The high priest who is new to astrology knows the power of the moon best. Does the ancestor really have the highest chance of understanding the power of the moon? Lin Luoran turns to the lady boy and sees that his upturned eyes are closed tightly. He seems to have lost consciousness. The priest points at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran feels that her body is getting warm again. Did he take out the power of moonlight from her? Little girl, maybe you can tell us the origin of the oracle? The priest stares at her with a kind smile on his face. Only Lin Luoran knows that this old man is extremely cunning. He pretends to back off and leads everyone into the Tower of Babel because this is the only battlefield for him. Can the priest control the Tower of Babel to some extent? Lin Luoran glances at the frozen people. She has no obligation to keep the fake saintess a secret. She even feels that she should expose the saintess. High priest, it is my pleasure to serve you. Lin Luoran, who has always believed in doing good to others, now grins like a little devil. One was the Xianyuan tribe, whose leader was the Yellow Emperor. The other was the Jiuli tribe, whose leader was the Qiyu tribe. The Yellow Emperor had an extremely beloved daughter who was born with the ability to control fire. Let's call her Ba for now. This woman started a war between the two tribes. Many ancient books of cultivation in the East were lost. However, she was still unwilling to give up, so she changed many identities and participated in the succession of dynasties in Huaxia. It is said that she used to be the favorite concubine of Xia Jie. She also used to be called Daji, the beloved concubine of King Zhou of Shang. Perhaps her last name was Baoxi. Senior Ji, why don't you ask the Honorable Saintess what relationship she has with your ancestor? The female cultivator surnamed Ji can only move her eyes. After Lin Luoran finishes her long speech, she looks at the fake saintess with less conviction than before. The fake saintess looks cold and her whole body melts with the thin ice covering the surface of her body. Lin Luoran guesses that the saintess must be very upset at this moment. However, it has nothing to do with her. She will pay for what she has done sooner or later. It is not the right time for her to pay for what she has done. The crazy Taoist once said that the world of cultivation would not recover until the Han Dynasty. That is to say, this woman may still be around for a while. You have said so much. Who is she? The priest sees that the Huaxia people are surging and secretly feels happy. It is none of his business how the saintess deals with the Huaxia cultivators. Cultivation has no national boundaries, and cultivators have national boundaries. The decline of Huaxia and the rise of Babylon are exactly what he wants. However, this young Huaxia female cultivator seems to see through his thoughts. Lin Luoran rolls her eyes. Priest, do you think that no matter who this woman is, she has nothing to do with Babylon? After saying this, she doesn't look at the priest's face. Instead, she stares at the star atlas on the dome and smiles. Priest, do you know the real purpose of the Tower of Babel? Putting aside the use of star power, it can restrain the power of cultivators. Do you know the real purpose of the Tower of Babel? In the eyes of the priest, the little Huaxia female cultivator raises her chin and asks him, Priest, have you ever seen the real appearance of the Tower of Babel? On the day when the Babylonian priest is about to die, he can still remember the Huaxia female cultivator raising her head and her indifferent look, just like a second oracle. He doesn't know where Lin Luoran comes from or who she is until he dies. However, at that moment, he really suspects that she comes from the same place as the oracle. Princess Amitas later said that her name is Lin, which is a perfect Oriental name. The priest wants to refute her. In this world, he is the only one who knows the Tower of Babel best. This is the gate of God. Lin Luoran shakes her head. To be more precise, we call it the interstellar transmission circle. It can go to the planet marked on the star atlas. For example, this superior oracle comes from the other side of the starry sky. The fake saintess suddenly opens her eyes. Are you crazy? You can't tell the aborigines about the basic interstellar law. The priest points at her and the fake saintess is forced to shut up. Lin Luoran laughs. The basic interstellar law. I don't think the basic interstellar law allows you to interfere with the progress of the Earth's civilization, right? You think that people on the Earth can't use spirit power. Unfortunately, even if your race can use it, so what? You will never be blessed by heaven like Huaxia cultivators. You can cultivate spiritual mind and ocean of consciousness while refining your body. Am I right? You can only hide in the dark and live in a body that doesn't belong to you. I wonder if you still remember what you looked like before you became the saintess of the Jiuli tribe. Lin Luoran's words are so carefree that even young Lisha stares at her strangely. She is also from more than 2,600 years in the future. Only she can understand Lin Luoran's accusation. Cultivation has withered, and the spirits of plants like them can't regain their intelligence because they don't have Diliu syrup. Compared with the situation that cultivators are getting worse with each generation, young Lisha is even more lonely. There are no monsters of wood on the earth more than 2,600 years later except for her and Voidy. This is the greatest sorrow of being alone. Young Lisha met the legendary figure of the monsters of wood, the ancestor of the monsters of wood. She knows that this woman called Saintess is not to be trifled with. Hearing Lin Luoran's words, young Lisha can't help but be impressed. From Lin Luoran's tone, it seems that she knows the Saintess better than anyone else. Even so, she still has the courage to offend her. Should she say that she is stupid? Or, there is something in her that others don't have. That's why she is so righteous and people dare not to stare at her. Yang Lisha looks at the stupid woman and suddenly feels that she looks familiar. Who does she look like? She looks like Voidy, who is also stupid and always thinks about others. Lin Luoran's eyes fall on Yang Lisha. After thinking for a while, she suddenly smiles at the priest enchantingly. Dear priest, if you can draw the power of these people into the crystal ball, I promise you will never forget the glory of the Tower of Babel. She just has an intuition that the old man is in charge of the Tower of Babel for the time being. If there is a God in the world, he must be the most pious person who believes in stars. Such a person deserves to be in charge of the interstellar transmission circle leading to the other side of the starry sky. You can choose not to believe me, or you can choose to believe me. You must know that right now, all of my spiritual power has been sealed. Using a Chinese proverb, I don't have the strength to truss a chicken. If you miss this opportunity, if you want to see the glory of Tong Tian Tower again, I'm afraid, seeing that the priest is deep in thought, Lin Luoran thinks of the saying, historical paradox, again. What she has done certainly hasn't changed history. Otherwise, if the butterfly flaps its wings, Lin Luoran may be the first one to disappear. She learned the way to open the Tower of Babel from Yang Lisha. Looking at the scene in front of her, if she is the main person who spread the way to open the Tower of Babel, then how did Yang Lisha learn it 2,600 years later? The more she thinks about it, the more confused she becomes. Lin Luoran's head hurts. She doesn't know why she is so impulsive and makes things come to this point step by step. With so many thoughts in her mind, she doesn't realize that there is another possibility that hasn't been blown away by the butterfly that changed history. In the original history, even if she doesn't say it, the way to open the Tower of Babel will still be told by someone on the same day. Then, let's see the original appearance of the Tower of Babel that has been guarded by Babylonian priests for many years. The priest murmurs to himself. As he moves his fingers, the star image on the dome is like a chess piece on the chessboard. The mysterious power of stars makes the power of people, including the fake saintess, be absorbed by the crystal ball. The crystal ball has been hungry for many years, so it never knows how to write the word polite. When the wacken in one's body is absorbed uncontrollably, both human beings and monsters will panic. Lin Luoran sees the fake saintess's face is distorted, and she smiles in her heart. Lin Luoran will return the favor to the millions of creatures who were killed in the underground world of the Kalahari Desert. The stone towers around them gradually became transparent. A tall and magnificent Tower of Babylon stood in the air, flowing with gold and overflowing with colors. It was more magnificent than all the temples in Babylon. A miracle, the Babylonian people who are celebrating all see the tower that suddenly appears. They shout for a miracle and lie down on the ground. Nebuchadnezzar is very excited. He takes Amethyst's hand and says, "You are the princess of Babylon recognized by the god Marduk." The emperor who is destined to conquer the world raises his head and looks at his people who lie down on the ground. He has decided to build a real Tower of Babel where the miracle appeared. Chapter 301. Old Mu, come on, attack the west. Master Guo lies on the sand dune and eats a mouthful of sand. Those foreigners wearing robes, waving the sticks in their hands, and a fireball or ice bomb would fall. They didn't look like they were from the Vatican. Damn it, where was this place? Master Mu casts a spell with his right hand, don't worry. Let's wait. Their enemies outnumber them, and their Reiki is not limitless. Lao Guo can fight randomly, but he doesn't have any method. When their Reiki is used up, they will be caught by their enemies like turtles in a jar. But what is going on here? Is it their illusion? These things are too real. After wandering for several days, they just run out of a big forest full of monsters. Now they are ambushed. How unlucky. But it doesn't feel right to call them monsters. They are not the monsters they met when they went to the secret land of Bermuda many years ago. A wolf with sharp claws that could bring the wind, a rabbit that could spit fire, a crow that could shoot out an electric shock when it opened its mouth. These demon beasts didn't have the slightest fluctuation of spiritual energy on their bodies. All the energy in their bodies was stored in the crystals inside their bodies, which were either demon beast cores or pure energy crystals. In fact, if Master Gua and Master Mu knew a little about online novels, they would soon realize that they have come to a foreign land dominated by magic in the legend. Bah, strawberries are bitter. What the hell is this place? There are many bright strawberry plants on the sand dune where they are hiding. They have been tempting people's taste buds. Since they came here, they have been eating compressed food prepared in the storage bag. Master Mu has repeatedly emphasized that the animals and plants here are different from those on the earth. They don't touch any of the animals and plants they meet except for a few crystals in the bodies of the monsters. Master Gua is sick of compressed biscuits. He can't help but pick a strawberry and put it in his mouth. It tastes strong, but it is so bitter that he can't swallow it. The strawberry is juicy, and the bitterness spreads to his throat. He wants to curse. The incessant chanting sounds like a bird's language that Master Gua can't understand. Light balls, fireballs, and water arrows fall down like they're free, hitting the protective shield with a bang. How long are you going to wait? Master Mu is also depressed. He has already made a madra and is waiting for these people to shrink the encirclement so that he can attack them. Why are they not moving at all, as if their feet have taken root in the ground? The universe was vast and boundless, and there was another kind of existence called magicians. No matter what their element was, they were not suited for close combat. The faces of those magicians were pale. They were famous for their poor physical fitness, and after casting spells for so long, their mouths were trembling. What kind of people came out of the magical beast forest? Why was it completely different from the information they had received? These noble mages also wanted to curse. Forget it, I'll lure them over. These foreign devils are so annoying. Gua's old disease has been cured by Lin Luoran's bolus, so he can still take this kind of fight. He removes the magic shield and throws out a single knife the size of a palm. He rushes over like a sorcerer team. Archers. Ready. Shoot. These were enchanted arrows, not ordinary arrows. The other party's leader thought that he was safe, but that strange-looking old man wielded a similarly strange broadsword and slashed all the way over. Not a single arrow touched anyone's body. Today was really strange. Yen percent, when they saw the old man's appearance clearly, the leader waved his hand and shouted loudly. Misunderstanding, everything was a misunderstanding. This man looked extremely vulgar. How could he be the target they were looking for? Master Gua doesn't understand the strange language. Even if he does, he won't stop because of his belligerent nature. Anyone who is ambushed after escaping from the strange forest will be angry. How can it be forgiven by a misunderstanding? Hence, under the astonished gazes of the other world's natives, the old man who could wield a saber and cast magic without using a staff was seen as a powerful person who practiced both magic and martial arts. Damn it, how did we end up provoking such a big shot? Master Gua rushes to the front of the team. The magicians are in a mess, and the long-range shooters have lost their bows and arrows. Are they all going to die? The leader is defeated, but the strange old man smiles at him weirdly. The sand they are stepping on suddenly turns into quicksand, entangling them like water weeds. After a while, be it the mages who were wearing long robes, the warriors who were covered in armor, or even the horses that the knights were riding on, they all looked ridiculous. Yellow sand covered their entire bodies, and only the area above their noses was exposed. They can't die for a while, and they can't kill people with their eyes. Master Mu walks up slowly. The Reiki here is so abundant. Don't these people usually meditate to practice Qi? The effect of the ground sinking spell is better than that on the earth. Yen, and it's a misunderstanding. The leader is in tears. Master Gua and Master Mu are speechless. Can't you speak the language of Huaxia? They are at a loss. Master Mu, who wants to be more modern, tries English again, but he still gets fearful, fierce, and confused looks. Master Guo clears his throat and tries Nihanese. He was a spy in Nihanese, so he is quite fluent in it. He tries several languages, but these people only stare at them blankly. They can't communicate at all. Master Guo and Master Guo are speechless. They don't know whether to kill them or to kill them. This place is weird. Could it be that our quest is to learn a new language? Master Mu looks at the sky and is speechless. Occasionally, he shows his childish side. The naughty Mu Tiannan is actually the most like his grandson. Master Guo frowns. As he gets older, people lose their spirit. These people have no fighting capacity, so it is not honorable to kill them. He picks up a 2-foot-long wand, which is inlaid with an ice blue crystal, which is very similar to the thing in the body of those monsters. Can people also use this thing? Pick up the things, and I won't kill them. There are a bunch of small sticks and many powerful bows and arrows. Fortunately, Master Guo's storage bag is 7 or 8 cubic meters, which is not the kind of ordinary stuff that everyone in the special department has. Otherwise, he can't put so many trophies in it. Looking at the horses, which are also buried with only half of their heads exposed, Master Guo complains, "Master Mu, if you had kept 2 horses, we wouldn't have to walk anymore." Although they both know the wind-riding spell, Master Guo and Master Mu are used to saving Wakan in the cultivation environment on the earth. Riding a horse is much more comfortable than walking. Master Mu is a little regretful. His right hand moved slightly, and the fine sand that buried the horses rolled to the sides. Looking at the sand that was sentient and rolling to the side without any wind, the local people who were buried in the soil couldn't think straight. This was clearly something that could only be done by a tutor who had a deep understanding of earth magic. When Master Mu proudly pulls the 2 horses up, they are about to leave. Suddenly, a bird's voice comes from the low bushes dozens of meters away, "Your Excellencies, please wait a moment." The long-eared girl with clothes covering the important parts of her body stands out. Master Mu and Master Mu can't appreciate the elf costume, which can kill otakus, so they look away. The elf girl crosses her hands in front of her chest, "Thank you for your help to the elves." It seems that the elf girl is of noble status. As soon as she stands out, many elves hiding in the bushes follow her and look at Master Mu and Master Mu with vigilance. Help! Damn it! These people are ambushing the long-eared elves. No, the long-eared girl with revealing clothes speaks in a weird way. How can they all understand her? "Little girl, who are you? Where are we? Why can we understand your words?" The young elf girl revealed a sorrowful smile. "Sir, this is the southern exit of the magical beast forest. In order to snatch the druid's heart, the Purple Thorns Empire has been massacring our elven clan for more than 10 years. This is the remaining half of the druid's heart, and it only has the ability to listen to conversations." The green diamond hanging in front of the elven girl's chest was the remaining half of the druid's heart. As the 2 old men who had grown up learning to be neutral, they really couldn't understand why the elven princess would hang the druid's heart that everyone wanted to fight over on her chest. Wasn't this a reminder to others to come and snatch me? Come and snatch me. The elf princess sighs faintly. "My sister was captured by the Bauhinia Empire a few days ago, and we also lost half of the Heart of Druid. The Heart of Druid must not fall into the hands of the Bauhinia Empire. Please help me save my sister. I am willing to repay you with the Heart of Druid." The elves are in an uproar. Master Mu and Master Mu can't understand other people's words, but they know that they definitely don't agree. The 2 of them looked at each other. Could it be that this was their quest, to help the elf princess save her sister? The 2 seniors in the level of laying foundation don't know whether to agree or not. In fact, the elf princess is also very depressed. If the 2 of them were young magicians, they wouldn't have to give away the Heart of Druid. The bards on the continent have been telling the legend for thousands of years. A brave knight saves the princess, and the princess only needs to marry him. The knight gets the princess, and the princess also gets a strong help for the kingdom. So, life is not always the way you want it to be. It is a happy task for the two cultivators, but for the two elders in the level of laying foundation, it is very troublesome. The beach is soft, the sea breeze smells fishy, the waves are hitting the reef, and the seagulls are hovering low. The sky is blue, and the sea is also blue. The two meet in the distant horizon, and the sea and the sky merge into one. Mr. Lin rubs his eyes. Xiao Yuan, is this Hainan? Cultivation is so wonderful. You can cross from Iraq to Hainan just by opening a stone door. Mr. Lin lies comfortably on the beach, regretting that he didn't bring a camera. Otherwise, it would be good to take some photos and show them to his mother. Forget it. He can take his wife to Hainan for a trip after he goes back. Yuan Yi is not as relaxed as Mr. Lin. He runs to the highest place and looks into the distance. This island is less than a mile in radius, and there is only a shallow stone puddle in the middle. There may only be a bucket of water in it. Yuan Yi tastes it. It is fresh water, which makes him feel a little relieved. Although they had all placed clean drinking water in their storage equipment, having a clean water source on this reef island was still a lot of confidence. The highest part of the island above the water is no more than 5 meters. Looking at the waves hitting each other, Yuan Yi is a little worried. If a wave breaks, how many times can they resist it? Looking from a high place, there is only the vast sea. There is neither a ship nor a trace of land. According to his personal ability, he is not able to fly on the sword. If he can't find a place to land halfway, he will run out of Reiki. Grandmaster, I'm afraid this is not Hainan. Mr. Lin nods. I don't think so either. Yuan Yi almost faints. Is there a factor called calmness in the blood of the Lin family? It seems that nothing can make his grandmaster lose control of her emotions. At least Yuan Yi has never seen it. Now the grandmaster is also like this. Is their task to get out of the island? There are no trees on this reef island. It is impossible to get out by building a boat. Now they have to settle down first and then find a way out. Yuan Yi makes a decision silently. He takes out a pack of ham sausages and some yogurt and hands them to Mr. Lin. What is this smell? Mr. Lin doesn't like yogurt, so he decides to give it to children like Lucy. The box handed to him by Yuan Yi is even more strange. Mr. Lin frowns and spits it out. Yuan Yi tears open the package of ham sausages. A stench comes in contact with the air. It turns black and stinks. Yuan Yi thinks it is his illusion. After he tears several packs of compressed biscuits and they also go bad, they finally realize that their ordeal is not as simple as getting out of the pirate island. Food, all the food and water they brought can't be eaten or drunk. Yuan Ye's face is gloomy. Mr. Lin, who is always optimistic, pats him on the shoulder. Hey, we are at the seaside. How can we starve to death? Go and set up camp first. Watch Grandmaster. Both of them are in the early stage of training Qi and they don't have the Taoist root of water. Yuan Yi is not very optimistic about getting out of the island. However, he is soon convinced by Mr. Lin, who has the same personal ability as him and is his grandmaster. Mr. Lin first takes out a folding tent from his storage belt. Yes, Yuan Yi is not dazzled. It is an outdoor folding tent. Mr. Lin gives the tent to Yuan Yi and smiles mysteriously. He takes out a fishing rod from his storage belt. Yuan Yi is convinced and goes to set up camp under the order. Although Mr. Lin is a cultivator, he still thinks like an ordinary person, or a small farmer. He has a mid-range storage belt and doesn't have many things to put in cultivation. It's better to have things like tents and fishing rods just in case. All things related to food can't be used. Mr. Lin walks to the edge of the reef and finds 2 shellfish. He smashes them and hangs the shellfish on the hook as bait. Sea fishing is still a very new thing for Mr. Lin. He doesn't think fishing under the hot sun is very hard. The only thing he is not satisfied with is that the waves are so turbulent that this fishing rod is really not good for sea fishing. Yuan Yi pitches his tent next to the water source at the highest point. After a while, Mr. Lin only catches 2 3-inch fish with fresh shellfish as bait. For sea fish, these are really small fish. This will be our lunch. Mr. Lin throws 2 small fish and a few oysters he finds on the edge of the reef to Yuan Yi. Then he finds an aluminum pot from his storage belt. There is nothing to be afraid of without firewood. Cultivators travel as long as they can use spells. There is no shortage of salt. There is seawater everywhere. Yuan Yi cooks a large pot of fish soup. The 2 men eat a lot. There is not enough fish, so they have to drink more water. Then again, the water in the pit is pitiful. Should they make grilled fish for the next meal? When the fish soup is fragrant, Mr. Lin is so lucky that he catches a big fish of 4 or 5 kilograms. It almost breaks the thin fishing rod. It seems that if we stay here, there will be no pressure on food, right? Mr. Lin is very proud with the big fish in his hand. He digs a shallow pit on the beach and brings in seawater to raise the fish in it. Yuan Yi also smiles. First of all, they must have enough food so that they have enough time to find a way out. If they are the first team to be judged to fail the test by the Tower of Babel because of hunger, the Lin family can't afford to lose face. After drinking the fish soup, the 2 begin to put together their own materials. A tent, 2 fishing rods, a bundle of thin ropes, some pots and pans, a few sets of clothes, some rotten food, a jar of deteriorated spirit wine, some elixirs, and a grade 3 broadsword. These are all the things in Mr. Lin's storage belt. A flying sword, some medicinal powders for various purposes, a few bottles of elixirs, some rotten food, a dozen of deteriorated yogurt. These are all the things in Yuan Ye's small storage bag. These things help them live on the island. However, if they want to build a boat, only the tent can barely be regarded as materials. They have enough sails, but what about the hull? The 2 are at a loss. The day passes quickly. The turning point comes on the 3rd day. It is a peaceful day. First of all, Mr. Lin's fishing didn't catch anything. Mr. Lin and Mr. Lin, who are planning whether to ride on the sword, are a little disappointed. They have to catch the big fish stored there and grill it. The fresh water in the small pool is also bottomed out. Water is still seeping out of the mud, but the speed is very slow. It can't keep up with their consumption. These are all trivial things that make people feel impetuous. This night, Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi don't sleep very well. At midnight, they are woken up by the sound of waves. No one knows when there are huge waves on the sea. Each wave is higher than the other, hitting the reef island. Mr. Lin sees something like a hill moving fast in the distance, undulating in the wind and waves. Is it a big ship? Look, there are lanterns on that ship. The speed of the ship is very fast. It gets close to the reef island in a moment. It has a body as big as the island and 2 lantern-like eyes. It is obviously a huge sea snake. Xiao Yuan. You ride on the sword first. I will hold it for a while. Yuan Yi looks at the fish bones thrown on the ground. He suddenly has an idea. Grandmaster, the materials for the ship are here. The materials look at the 2 little creatures coldly. It seems that they are not bad as snacks. Mr. Lin clenches the big knife and Yuan Yi is ready to cast the spell of sword. This is the first time for them to deal with a sea monster that seems not to be easy to deal with. They have to stay alive so that they can dismantle the monster's bones and make a ship. There were also people whose checkpoints were extremely simple. It was just an empty room, and a figure dressed in gaudy and feminine clothes was pulling you along to tell you about ancient times. Yi Xiaobei, who is in the middle of the group, doesn't know how lucky he is. There is food and water, and there is no danger. Except that he has to endure a chatterbox. There is nothing bad about it. The shadow gets close to his ear and Yi Xiaobei shivers. He would rather fight with the monster. Who can drive this damn ladyboy away? Chapter 302. The miracle doesn't affect the wedding of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. Instead, it sends incomparable blessings to the most honorable couple in the kingdom. In the Tower of Babel in the inner city, the monks were at daggers drawn. Outside the high walls, the Babylonian people were lying on the ground. Their piety to the god Marduk turned into support for the king, and of course, the new princess. The blue iris at the corner of Amethyst's eyes is charming in the sunlight, but it is not as touching as the smile on her face. The princess from the Medes' kingdom is recognized by the people because of the miracle. Amytis, who is still a teenager, has never thought of this. She thought that she still needed to work hard, but she never expected that God would take pity on her. Amytis and Nebuchadnezzar stand side by side on the magnificent city wall of Babylon. This high wall is made of clay bricks and glazed bricks. The wall is wide enough for 4 cars to run side by side. Looking down from the wall, the whole Babylon can be seen. The kingdom of Babylon, which is nourished by the flowing Euphrates River, is now her kingdom. She doesn't know that it is not her omnipotent teacher who makes the miracle happen. It is just Lynn of the East, whom Amytis has known for a long time and has known for one night. Amytis may never know the truth, but it doesn't matter. Lynn Luoran will only be happy for her unintentional action when a girl enters the marriage with God's blessing. Of course, some people are just confused. The middle-aged man who is still struggling with his surname in the crowd is very surprised when the Tower of Babel shows itself. In his opinion, when he was in the limelight, shouldn't the Babylonian high priest hold his thigh and beg him to tell the secret of the Tower of Babel to the high priest who had been guarding it for many years after he enjoyed the top-notch treatment of the monk group? What's wrong? Against the light, the middle-aged man sneaks out of the crowd and reaches the other side of the city wall. A cyan little head pops out from a Babylonian robe. You mean your master is inside the wall? He holds the cyan little fox in his hand fiercely. The cyan little fox shrinks its neck and nods. The middle-aged man grunts, "You ate 8 ginsengs and 7 sealworts of mine. If your master can't pay me back, you should know how terrible it is." The cyan little fox's eyes are misty and tears are rolling in its eyes. In order to save its life, it is willing to admit Lin Luoran as its master. Anyway, the female cultivator doesn't know it. It is not a disgrace to the Fox family. The middle-aged man is a little annoyed looking at the 15-feet-high city wall of Babylon. He has to take out another golden hawk. Goldie is dizzy because of his body odor. It really wants to spit out an ice flame to freeze this hateful human to death. However, when it opens its mouth, it can only spit out saliva. It even spits on the cyan little fox's neck. What bad luck! If you don't bring back your master, this damn fox will be a kebab, you? The middle-aged man fiercely pulls out one of Goldie's feathers and lets it go. The cyan little fox is very restless. Seeing Goldie flying into the city wall, it really cries this time. Everyone knows that this damn hawk hates it the most. Why does it tell Lin Luoran to save it this time? A fox's life is over, a fox's life is over. The wind blows away the white cloth covering the middle-aged man's head, and his black hair falls down. If some girls in the 21st century see this, they will definitely scream. This is clearly a beautiful uncle with melancholy and frivolous vicissitudes and childishness. The man picks up the cyan little fox and smirks. In fact, if you can tell me the entrance to the kingdom of Green Mountains, I won't ask you to return those spirit herbs. That golden hawk is not very reliable. I also feel the same way, ha ha ha. The cyan little fox covers its ears with its paws. The entrance to the kingdom of Green Mountains? It doesn't know. It just doesn't know. Well, it can't say even if it knows. The priest seems to be sleepwalking. He has a feeling that he has lived for hundreds of years in vain. At the moment when the real body of the Tower of Babel is revealed, the priest doesn't know where he has spent the hundreds of years of stargazing. If he is good at stargazing, how can he not see the real appearance of the Tower of Babel? These Huaxia cultivators have coveted the Tower of Babel for many years. For this reason, they did not hesitate to leak the advanced technology of the East to Babel and tempt him with astronomical knowledge. How do I use this tower? The priest looks at Lin Luoran. If he couldn't see through the oracle before, now the only one he can't see through is this little Huaxia female cultivator. Lin Luoran smiles. Shouldn't you release my friend first? You know, like me, she has lost all her personal ability and can't pose a threat to you. She points to Yang Lisha. The female monster is not surprised. They are bound together for good or bad. Those who abandon their teammates will be automatically judged as the worst by the Tower of Babel. What awaits Lin Luoran is the fate of being obliterated directly. If there was a little doubt about this sentence before, the ability of the Tower of Babel to take them through time and space has already made people dare not question its rules. The priest is not happy. He doesn't want to have a quarrel with Lin Luoran at this time, so he nods and agrees. He points to Yang Lisha. The female monster rolls her eyelids and her stiff body slowly warms up. She can really move. Dimples appear on Yang Lisha's face before she says anything. Lin Luoran gives her a warning look. Asking the priest to release her is already an exchange of the secrets of the Tower of Babel. If she also wants to release the ancestor, the priest is not a pig. How can he agree? Is there any way to prevent our noble oracle from hearing our conversation, my lord priest? Lin Luoran lowers her head and smiles. She is very cunning. The priest's words are meaningful. Lin Luoran only asks the oracle not to hear it. It seems that he still cares about her Huaxia compatriots. A beam of starlight falls from the edge of the star atlas. The fake saintess is shrouded in it and her 6 senses are blocked. Lin Luoran thinks for a while. The woman surnamed Ji probably can't hear it, so the priest doesn't think it's troublesome at all. So, in the end, only the priest and the ancestor of the monsters of wood can know the secrets of the Tower of Babel? Actually, Lin Luoran just opens her mouth when she suddenly hears the familiar cry of an eagle outside the tower. It's Goldie. Where did it go this night? Lin Luoran is so worried. High Priestess, the priest interrupts impatiently, Marduk above, little cultivator, please don't try to test my patience anymore. Goldie's cry is urgent. Lin Luoran doesn't know what kind of danger has happened. How can she continue to be mysterious? However, the hundreds of years of the priest's life are not in vain. He sees the urgency in Lin Luoran's eyes and naturally asks her to tell him how to use the Tower of Babel first. Besides, no one knows whether the outside of the tower is full of Huaxia cultivators or not. No matter how many people there are, he can't control them with the Tower of Babel. Yang Lisha wants to say something but stops on second thought. Lin Luoran sneers in her heart. Since she can't even trust Huaxia cultivators, how can she trust the priest? What he said before is that stalling is the biggest reason. If she really tells the secret, she and Yang Lisha may not be able to walk out of the Tower of Babel. No, she has to let Goldie come in first and Cyan Little Fox. If she and Yang Lisha can go back to the 21st century through the stone gate of the Tower of Babel, they will have to live on bread in Babylon where there are no spirit herbs. The priest also has his own considerations, and Lin Luoran has her own plans. People who are not of the same race must have different intentions. In fact, neither of them can trust the other. The ancestor of the monsters of wood is fixed on the spot with his eyes rolling. Yang Lisha says that she can't help. At this moment of stalemate, the gate of the stone tower is suddenly pushed open. Lin Luoran sees that the priest's face immediately darkens. A middle-aged Huaxia man looks at everyone with his mouth wide open. It seems that he doesn't expect there are so many people in the tower. He looks like he is the master and you are all thieves. Under his armpit was Goldie, whose face was covered in dirt and was constantly struggling. The Cyan Little Fox is in the man's other hand with tears in its eyes. It looks at Lin Luoran with grievance. Well, excuse me. Who is the master of these two birds and the fox? The middle-aged man is carrying Goldie and Cyan Little Fox. Lin Luoran can't pretend to be deaf and dumb, so she coughs. She doesn't even see the middle-aged man move. The next moment, a magnified face appears in front of her. It's you, isn't it? You are a bird. You stole my barbecue. The most abominable thing is this damn fox. You stole 9 ginsengs and 8 sealworts from me. Pay. The middle-aged man completely ignores the priest and the ice men, who look like postmodern sculptures. He doesn't even feel the coldness in the tower. He is wearing a thin robe that doesn't fit him. He opens his hands to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran looks at Goldie. Goldie tilts its head guiltily. Well, the barbecue must be real. Lin Luoran looks at the Cyan Little Fox again. The little fox shakes its head and nods to her. What does this mean? The middle-aged man warns the Cyan Little Fox fiercely. The little fox is in tears. It hates that it can't speak human language. It is true that they stole the spirit herbs, but the numbers don't add up. Every time the abominable man says something, the numbers change. The middle-aged man smiles. It's good that you admit that you are their master. I didn't lie to you, did I? Give me back the spirit herbs and the barbecue. Young Lisha is thinking about the welcoming light cast by the real body of the Tower of Babel. She only hopes that the human man who pops out suddenly can make things a little more complicated. The priest is uncertain. He still can't figure out how this man came in so easily. Only Lin Luoran, who has been blackmailed, feels a deep sense of familiarity. The middle-aged man in front of her is also a mature and handsome man in the future age of information explosion. Lin Luoran is sure that she has never seen this face before. But who does he look like? Lin Luoran frowns. In her memory, there is also such a greedy and annoying person like him. It's Liao. Lin Luoran saw Liao through the telescope in the Seaview Pavilion of the Dragon Palace. The old fisherman's face is always annoying. Later, Liao disappeared. Did he also time travel? No, it can't be time travel. Is this Liao from more than 2,600 years ago? Although Lin Luoran is surprised that Liao still looks the same as when he was in Middle Liao and owes him spirit herbs and barbecue, she is more angry that the Dragon Palace fell on her regardless of her will. It's you, Liao. Don't think that I don't know you just because you are younger. Tell me. The middle-aged man is shocked. His surname is Liao. Ha, he knows that he can't remember it wrong again. But how is he old? He pushes Lin Luoran's hand away. Little girl, although my surname is Liao, I am not old. You can call me Master Blue Waves. Chapter 303. If Lin Luoran knew that one of her actions could make a fact in line with the history of later generations, she would have been patient. Goldie and Cyan Little Fox escape because she grabs the Master of the Blue Waves. They stay behind Lin Luoran with vigilance. It can be seen that they are afraid of the middle-aged man who calls himself the Master of the Blue Waves. Seeing the farce in the stone tower, the high priest can't help but feel his temples throb even though he has been observing stars for hundreds of years. Who gave them the right to make trouble in the Tower of Babel? Lin Luoran grabs the Master of the Blue Waves and he also wants to ask her for spirit herbs. They step back and approach the light of guidance. Young Lisha comes forward to stop them. The Cyan Little Fox howls and rushes to them, dragging Goldie. 3 people and 2 beasts are out of the group system of the Tower of Babel. Therefore, Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha, the female monster, who come from the same place, are in the same group. The light of guidance flashes and they appear in the center of the Tower of Babel. Can we go back after we push this door open? Lin Luoran can't believe it. Things go so smoothly. Whether the Master of the Blue Waves is Liao or not, he is like a lucky star sent by God. Young Lisha feels it is a pity that she didn't learn anything else from her ancestor, but she still nods. In her eyes, cultivation is not so important. At least compared with spells, she wants Voidy to wake up. Therefore, nothing can happen to Lin Luoran. Only she knows the last soul would. The premise of saving Voidy is that she must go back alive with Lin Luoran. They have already got the ancient book of the monsters of wood, so they don't care what the Tower of Babel can reward them with. This is already the best reward. A figure suddenly appears on the miracle, which causes a commotion among the Babylonians below. Amytis opens her red lips slightly. She can't believe that her makeup artist is standing in the center of the tower. Lin Luoran looks down and sees Amytis. If they push the door open, they will never see each other again. She has a good impression of Amytis, but it is a pity that she can only read the history of the development of the Mesopotamia if she wants to know more about this one-day friend. Would the Babylonians, who relied on clay tablets to record documents, be generous to their concubine and write 2 more strokes? Lin Luoran waves to Amytis, and a small box falls from her hand. Nebuchadnezzar is about to hit it away. Amytis shouts and Nebuchadnezzar grabs the box backhand. It is the magical box containing pearl powders of various colors. Amytis grasps it tightly and waves her hand like Lin Luoran does. Lin Luoran is going to remind her to be careful of her teacher. However, on second thought, Nebuchadnezzar is willing to build the hanging garden for her. The Princess of Media must not be retarded except for her appearance. Lin Luoran should leave the matter between Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuchadnezzar. The Euphrates River flowed slowly, and the golden wheat swayed in the wind. It was the harvest season. Babylon was full of yellow, noble gold, low-key earth, and abundant wheat. After taking another breath of air that had been around for more than 2,600 years, they would have to go back. Lin Luoran puts her hand on the stone door. She hears a whining sound behind her. The Master of Blue Waves has caught up with her during this short delay. You 2 little girls are so dishonest. I was wondering why I couldn't see through you at the beginning. It turns out that you are thieves from the Tower of Babel. The Master of Blue Waves covers young Lisha's mouth. The female monster is so angry that her face turns red. She keeps kicking the Master of Blue Waves. The Master of Blue Waves yells, but he also reveals the origin of Lin Luoran and the Master of Blue Waves, which surprises her. No matter Liao from 2,000 years later or the Master of Blue Waves today, they have no personal ability in Lin Luoran's eyes. This man actually knows the mystery of the Tower of Babel. Wait, if he is really Liao, he must have lived for more than 2,000 years. How can such a person have no personal ability? Is he pretending to be weak? The high priest sees that outsiders have entered the Tower of Babel. He is shocked, and the fake saintess and the ancestor of the monsters of wood both break free. The 2 come to the light of guidance. The Master of Blue Waves laughs, hand over the spirit herbs, or you will be finished. They should be in different floors and places after stepping into the light of guidance. However, the Master of Blue Waves has the ability to catch young Lisha. Who knows if the fake saintess will catch up with them? Lin Luoran randomly pulls out a few ginsengs from her space and throws them to the Master of Blue Waves. These ginsengs are the offspring of the ginseng seeds Lin Luoran got from the Moose Seed Company when she first started her personal ability enhancement. Now it has been 8 or 9 years, so the ginsengs are almost 3,000 years old. The Master of Blue Waves is stunned. He can't believe that he really got such good ginsengs by blackmailing them. He loosens his hand, and young Lisha has already broken free. The female monster is so ashamed and angry that she steps on the Master of Blue Waves' foot hard. Then she pulls Lin Luoran to open the stone door. Don't tell the fake saintess the secret of the Tower of Babel. Please. Lin Luoran's voice is drowned in the mist. The Master of Blue Waves comes to his senses. He doesn't know where he hid the ginsengs. He holds a book with a sad face. If I knew she was so generous, I wouldn't have stolen this book. It is the ancient book of the monsters of wood that young Lisha has. The monster ancestor catches up with them. Seeing the junior of his tribe disappearing in the mist of the stone door, he wants to go in. The master of blue waves is soft-hearted and grabs him tightly. They were bullied by the high priest in the stone tower, so the monster ancestor is still a little afraid of people who dare to ignore the high priest. Give me back the ancient book of my tribe. The master of blue waves is not in the mood to joke around with a man. He says coldly, "You mean this? I didn't take it from you." He has to give it back to the little monster. The master of blue waves is never greedy for small gains. He throws the ancient book into the mist. The monster ancestor is so angry that he wants to take it back. However, the stone door closes slowly, cutting off his spiritual mind. Who are you? The master of blue waves shows a bitter face. This monster is so annoying. He is so worried because he can't remember who he is. The master of blue waves is furious when the monster mentions his sad past. However, he can't defeat the monster ancestor, so he can only stare at him and kill him with his eyes. The fake saintess hesitates and pushes a stone door open. The monster ancestor who passed through the light with her is determined to be in the same group. He is pulled into the stone door by a strange force. The master of blue waves sweats and sincerely feels that these people are really not cute. At least they are not as sincere as the little female cultivator. If we meet again, the master of blue waves will definitely give you a big gift. Ha, a 3,000-year-old ginseng is rare nowadays. Not bad, not bad. He walks freely in the Tower of Babel and bumps into the high priest who is one step slower. The high priest looks unfriendly and the master of blue waves feels a little guilty. It seems that he suddenly breaks in and messes up the good situation of the high priest. Ah, it's like this, Your Excellency High Priest. If you can let bygones be bygones, we can have a good talk about the Tower of Babel. I definitely won't waste your time. Don't think about those two who went in first. If they're not dead, they can only be sent to another planet. No matter how big the grudge is, we can't be too calculative when we're so far away, right? The master of blue waves talks eloquently and drags the high priest down the Tower of Babel. He shamelessly asks the high priest to send him to the dome. No one knows which stars he has moved, but the Tower of Babel floating in the air disappears. This person seems to know the Tower of Babel very well. It seems that he has no personal ability at all. It is really strange. The poor high priest has been shocked several times today and has become numb. In the stone door, Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha walk through the mist. Going back is more complicated than coming here. It is not like opening the door and you will be in the 21st century. The two fumble in the mist and find another stone door after a while. They are both happy because they know they have found the right place. When they are about to open the door, they see something roaring over their heads and disappearing into the mist. The ancient book of the monsters of wood. Lin Luoran can't mistake the shape of the leaves. Yang Lisha touches her body and feels bad. Lin Luoran is about to chase after it, but the female monster stops her. It's useless. The time difference is only a few seconds. It went through a different time and space gate. Chapter 304. Translucent light floats in the chaotic space. The fog is so dense that the visibility is limited to a few meters. Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha sit cross-legged on the ground with a hawk and a fox. Unexpectedly, the two of them were the fastest team to return. The loss of the ancient book of the monsters of wood at the last moment is a big blow to Lin Luoran. Although she has a strong Taoist heart, she can't help sighing for a long time. Mrs. Lin is 50 years old this year. No matter how young she looks, it is not good for her to enter Taoism at this age for other cultivation schools. Cultivation is also a race against time. Lin Luoran is a little frustrated. Yang Lisha presses her lips tightly without saying a word. She wants the soul wood very much. If the strange trip to Babylon hadn't happened, she would have forced Lin Luoran to take out the soul wood even if she didn't find the ancient book of the monsters of wood. However, how can the mysterious Tower of Babylon take Lin Luoran as the protagonist of its task? It specially sends them back more than 2,600 years ago. Is it just to watch the wedding of the king of Babylon? Yang Lisha is a monster. Compared with the big monsters that are thousands of years old, her time of transformation is very short. However, it doesn't mean that she is stupid. At least, she is more knowledgeable than Lin Luoran. The unusual behavior of the Tower of Babylon sounds the alarm for Yang Lisha. Although she doesn't know what is special about this female cultivator, she'd better not have the idea of snatching the soul wood until the last moment. It seems that we didn't get anything from this trip. The atmosphere is so awkward that Yang Lisha has to take the initiative to liven things up. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and shakes her head. We did get something. The fake saintess is indeed an alien, and the spiritual mind of the woman surnamed Ji is like a translator. Lin Luoran is even considering whether she should discuss with the crazy Taoist how to deal with the fake saintess in the underground of the Kalahari Desert. If the fake saintess takes the knowledge of cultivators from the earth out. It is strange. They met each other 2,600 years ago, and the fake saintess mistook her for an alien traveler. Why doesn't she remember her at all? Is it a clever time difference, or something happened in the Tower of Babylon after Lin Luoran and Yang Lisha came back? Since the real use of the Tower of Babylon has been discovered in the spring and autumn period, have the cultivators on the earth gone to the other side of the starry sky through the Tower of Babylon? Where are they now? If Yang Lisha were not here, Lin Luoran would have taken out the jade stairs to check. The star map carved on the dome of the stone tower was exactly the same as the first level of the jade stairs. If the first layer of the star map contained the power of the stars that could be borrowed, then what about the second layer? Would he be able to reverse space-time and directly travel through space? She holds the bead on her wrist and sees the man in robe in her dream for the second time. The first time was when Baojia was critically ill. Lin Luoran exhausted her Reiki but it didn't help. After passing out, her body was controlled by an inexplicable force and it drew a powerful golden pattern. Is it a magic figure? Lin Luoran's intuition tells her that it should be something of a higher level than the magic figures of the Qingqing Taoist temple. According to Baojia's condition at that time, the golden pattern she painstakingly drew is far more effective than the healing power of the wood. It can even bring the dead back to life. In her coma dream, she saw the scene described in the classic of mountains and seas. The back of the man in robe, the beads on his wrist, and the golden pattern drawn in the air. There was also the gaze that crossed the layers of barriers and looked over, causing her divine sense to sting. Since then, she knows that this is something she can't peek at least not with her current personal ability. Then this time, the fake saintess forced her to retreat step by step. However, she saw the picture of the man in white robe traveling in the sea of stars. Although she didn't know where this strange green planet was, it was definitely more advanced than the Earth's technology. That happened many years ago. Seeing the man in robe this time, she suddenly understands the strange language called Interstellar Standard Language by the fake saintess. There is no definite connection between the two times. Lin Luoran's fingers move slightly. She thinks of the mysterious golden pattern. Yang Lisha sees that Lin Luoran's mind is wandering, so she doesn't disturb her. She also closes her eyes to rest. After a long time, the fog loosens. Yang Lisha and Lin Luoran both open their eyes. Two people appear in the white fog, complaining to each other. It's Shiheng and Chen Yun. Unexpectedly, it's these two teams that don't get along with each other who finish the task first. Fellow cultivator Shi, did you get anything? Lin Luoran stands up and asks. Chen Yun is angry. Shiheng, if you didn't ignore the big picture, we wouldn't have missed the foundation laying bolus. Shiheng rolls his eyes and ignores him. After listening to the story, Lin knows that the stone door Shiheng and Chen Yun pushed open leads to a ruined cave. They were tortured by the remaining inhibition. After overcoming all the obstacles along the way, they really found the treasure left by the predecessors. The two of them can go through trials and tribulations together, but they can't endure hardships. Because they dislike each other, they don't even get the only bottle of foundation-laying bolus. Shiheng doesn't complain much about Qinyun. Lin Luoran feels surprised, so Shiheng whispers to her that they triggered the inhibition and it was Qinyun who risked his life to get him out. Although it's the rule of the Tower of Babel that no teammates can be abandoned, even Lin Luoran has changed her opinion of Minister Chen. It is not easy to be an official. It must be hard for Qinyun to manage a group of arrogant young cultivators. Qinyun is a tactful man. When Lin Luoran puts herself in Qinyun's shoes, it is not an exaggeration. Of course, what Lin Luoran can never forget is that they pressured the Lin family that year. If Zhou Yaowei didn't make a move first, Lin Luoran might have to fight against the entire world of cultivation when she gets back. Lin Luoran puts these thoughts aside and asks Shiheng about his experience in the dilapidated cave. With their help, the next team should be back soon. The fog is still the same, but the mood of waiting is different. After waiting for another half a day, two people riding tall horses come out of the fog. They are Grandpa Mu and Grandpa Gua. The two cultivators of laying foundation are dressed like nobles in the Middle Ages in Europe. Even their saddles are made of pure gold. Seeing that there are not many people waiting on the platform, Grandpa Mu and Grandpa Gua are relieved. It's better not to let the juniors see their weird clothes. Compared with the short adventure of Lin Luoran's team and Shiheng, Grandpa Gua and Grandpa Mu have spent more than a year in the strange world, as they call it, although they only appeared one step later than the two teams. A world of magic and swords. They are all excited. After a while, Grandpa Gua stops coughing. His face is ruddy and some of his white hair has turned black. He is in a good state. Grandpa Gua is a little embarrassed. The locals in that world are very strange. They turn a blind eye to the Reiki of the 5 elements in the world and practice the magic of elements. With Grandpa Mu's help, my old illness is really cured. Grandpa Mu laughs, cured? As soon as you advance, your old illness will be cured without any medicine. Lin Luoran is surprised by the way the two seniors showed up. If Grandpa Mu didn't tell her, she wouldn't have noticed Grandpa Gua's cultivation. Now she senses it. Grandpa Gua has broken through the middle stage of laying foundation and there is a sign of the late stage of laying foundation. Every time Reiki advances, it is time for the body to be improved by Reiki. With the help of Master Mu, Reiki of the 5 elements, which no one in the magic world cares about, is scarce for Master Gua's dry meridians. Taking advantage of the advancement, Master Gua's old wounds are healed without any medicine. Both of them want to advance. It seems that if I don't work hard, I won't be able to show my face in front of others. Shiheng says to himself. Needless to say, he must be thinking of his precious apprentice Li Shi, whose cultivation is almost catching up with his. Qinyun is jealous for a while. Then he thinks of Grandpa Gua's fierce reputation when he was young. Grandpa Gua was a great deterrent to the neighboring island country. Even if Grandpa Gua only regains his original fighting capacity, he is still very powerful, not to mention the blessing of the advancement. At least for the state of Huaxia, Qinyun is not so depressed anymore. Only Lin Luoran is sincerely happy. Congratulations, Grandpa Gua. Grandpa Gua sighs, Luoran, I really need to thank you. If you didn't provide me with elixirs for years, I might not be able to live until now, let alone advance. And Mu, if you didn't help me, you would be the one who advanced. You won't have such a chance to enjoy such pure Reiki in the future. Grandpa Mu pulls his clothes and ignores his close friend's sentimental words. He takes out a green crystal the size of a goose egg from his front pocket. What is this? Grandpa Mu says mysteriously, the real gain of this trip. We suspect that it has something to do with the Tower of Babel. An emerald-like crystal is lying quietly in Grandpa Mu's hand on a silver chain. It is the heart of Druid that the Bohemia Empire in the magic world fought for. The dense fog became lively. The young cultivators returned to their respective places. Some were in high spirits, and it seemed like they had gained quite a bit. There were also people who were dejected. Some are seriously injured and are dragged back by their companions. They thought they were going to die, but when they return to the fog, they find that there is no trace on their bodies. Some are really seriously injured. Lin Luoran can't help but worry about her father and Yuan Yi who haven't shown up yet. As time goes by, almost all people have returned. Lin Luoran's parents tell her that she will be fine, but she still can't help worrying about her father and Yuan Yi. If the two of them didn't fall in the same place after passing through the stone gate, Mr. Lin has no combat experience. What should she do? The sound of waves comes from the depths of the mist. Lin Luoran thinks she has misheard it. A stream of seawater spreads to their feet. A strange boat appears in the mist. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi, who are much tanned, are holding the reins and staring at the boat in astonishment. Lin Luoran bursts into laughter. Being tanned is nothing. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi are so lucky that they are still alive. Is everyone here? Lin Luoran looks at Yang Lisha. The female monster stays away from the crowd. Her dimpled face shows alienation. However, after waiting for a long time, they are still standing in the fog. The Tower of Babel hasn't sent them out. What's going on? Chu Yi, who is a man of few words, looks around and says nervously, Master Lin, Yi Xiaobei is not here yet. He took his turn. Chapter 306. In June, the highest temperature in Chengdu during the day had already reached 29 degrees Celsius. This did not affect the office workers who did not go out of their air-conditioned homes much. However, in Chengdu, and even in the whole country, there was a wave of families with half-grown children who were frightened and could not sit still. As a family of cultivators, the Lin family is no exception. On June 11, Luo Dong, the only middle school student in the family, will take part in the provincial junior high school entrance exam in Shu province, actually, the senior high school entrance exam. Moreover, the Lin family also needs to take care of Huang Weijian, who is also taking the exam. In Mrs. Lin's words, Huang Weijian has no relatives. Although he doesn't need money for his education, what he needs most is others' care. The kitchen is filled with fragrance. Mrs. Lin has been making the chicken soup for a long time. She has put in white fruit and bitter gourd and skimmed off the oil. The soup is not greasy and the bitter gourd is used to suppress the heat. The chicken is raised by Mrs. Lin, the white fruits are harvested from 2 ginkgo trees in her space, and the bitter gourd is no exception. It is a natural product of her space. They are going to finish the exam in the morning. Hurry up and take it. Mrs. Lin talks and puts the soup in the thermos cup in Lin's hand. As her daughter, she must do this kind of errands. Lin takes the order and meets Mr. Lin around the corner with the chicken soup. Dad, are you still looking at the skeleton boat? Mr. Lin smiles, Yuan Yi is. We were busy at that time and the boat was not beautiful. Yuan Yi and I both agreed to dismantle it and remake it. Mrs. Lin is the only one who doesn't know about the thrilling battle between Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi with the sea monster. It is understandable that they value the skeleton boat as a trophy. The skeleton with light reiki is obviously a good material for refining weapons. It is a pity that Lin is still a novice at refining weapons. Otherwise, she can refine the skeleton boat into a spirit boat. The two children will take the exam in the same school so they don't have stage fright. This is a good advantage for a large-scale exam and Lin doesn't need to send the chicken soup separately. There are many parents like Mrs. Lin at the school gate. There is no place to park, so Lin Luoran leaves the folk street and takes a taxi. As expected, there is a sea of people at the school gate. The scorching sun and the worry about their children's performance in the exam make it a double torture. Even with umbrellas, Lin Luoran can still see many mothers and grandmothers sweating profusely. All parents in the world should be pitied, right? Mr. and Mrs. Lin used to worry about her every time she took an exam. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian are waiting for her under the tree. Lin Luoran smiles, you two must have done well in the exam. The first subject is language. Huang Weijian is a descendant of Confucianism. It will be shameful if he doesn't know the basic knowledge of language. Luodong also has Rong's hard work for 2 years. Language is the subject that they are best at. She asks them to sit down in the restaurant and asks them to drink the chicken soup made by Mrs. Lin. Seeing that the food is not greasy, Luodong fills a bowl for Huang. The aroma of the food attracts other parents and students in the restaurant. However, Huang brought the food himself and Luodong can't force him to buy it. Luodong drinks a bowl of soup and picks up a few pieces of chicken. He sighs contentedly. Mom is really good at cooking. Sister, can you guess what the topic of this year's high school entrance exam is? High school entrance exam composition. Lin Luoran hasn't studied for many years. When she was in high school, the topic was, the most unforgettable thing in your life. In recent years, the topic of the exam has become more and more difficult. How can she guess it? Huang Weijian slowly wipes his mouth. Let's write about how to view the immortals in the legend, cultivators. Lin Luoran almost spits out the tea in her mouth. No wonder both of them are so confident. Their essays, which get some of the most points, are about cultivators. Since she proposed to integrate cultivation with science and technology, it seems that the leaders of Huaxia have made a formal response. Starting from the topic of the high school entrance exam, does the state of Huaxia begin to guide the public opinion? Lin Luoran stares at them. What did you write? Luodong says while eating, Sister, you always say that cultivation has no national boundaries, but cultivators do. That's what I wrote. Needless to say, Luodong can get high marks from the point of entry. Seeing that Lin Luoran is looking at him, Huang Weijian takes the initiative to say, I wrote that cultivators may be around us. Lin Luoran wants to cough again. These two kids are obviously walking on a tightrope between being exposed and not being exposed. Excellent grades are good for cultivating one's self-confidence. Whether it's cultivation or studying like ordinary kids, Lin Luoran will not pour cold water on them when they are working hard. After thinking for a while, she makes a gesture with her right hand. A wood, spirit concentration spell, that can only be used by cultivators in the level of laying foundation falls on them. It's usually sleepy at noon. Both of them feel refreshed. They don't know the meaning of the refreshment until they have the math exam in the afternoon. They are calm, clear, and even open up their minds. The last question in the math exam of the high school entrance exam is always very difficult. It is said that this is a watershed to test whether a student is good at math. You don't need to be good at math, but you need to be very good at it. According to Luodong's and Huang Weijian's usual grades, they are not at a loss to solve this question. However, they have never been as confident as they are today. Lin Luoran and Huang Weijian's reasoning is clear, which reduces a lot of detours. After making a dozen equations, they finish the last question. Looking at the time, there are still 40 minutes before they hand in the paper. Why is she in such a good mood today? Luodong can use the extra time to check the papers. Huang Weijian's situation is similar to Luodong's. He feels the fluctuation of Reiki when Lin Luoran casts the spell and knows that Lin's sister is secretly helping her. When he puts down his pen to check the papers, Huang Weijian unconsciously smiles. The young man's cold heart is slowly melted by the Lins. When he thinks of his grandfather who has never returned, the mental barrier of being abandoned has been gradually healed in the warm atmosphere of the Lin's family. Well, I have to do well in the high school entrance exam. Luodong is so weak. It is not safe for him to go to number 4 high school alone. Huang Weijian says silently and checks the papers carefully. In another building, Luodong sneezes and looks around suspiciously. The invigilator thinks that he is cheating and stares at him. Luodong touches his nose and knows that he has been misunderstood. He quickly lowers his head and checks the papers carefully. Time is stretched. A phoenix flower is blooming outside the window. June is like fire. This is the high school entrance exam that many people in the state of Huaxia will experience. Among the classmates who have been with each other for 3 years, the ones with good grades will go to a better high school. Some can only stay in the high school, and some don't want to go to school anymore. This is the first choice of the boys and girls. They may feel sad, but they are more about growing up. Hello, the total score of the examinee you are looking for is 678. The mechanical voice says the corresponding examinee's number. The Lin family cheers. With this score, it is no problem for him to go to number 4 high school. He will also get a scholarship. Fatty Chui pats Huang's shoulder and says, "It is not a shame." Not bad, not bad. This is Huang Weijian's score. The Lin family is so excited that Huang Weijian blushes. Then they let him go and start to check Luodong's score. Examinee Luodong, admission ticket number ********, 148 points for Chinese, 150 points for math, 149 points for English. The total score is 685 points. The Lin family is stunned. They have always known that the two children have good grades. Huang is a cultivator, so he can get twice the result with half the effort. However, they didn't expect that Luodong has a higher score. The total score of the senior high school entrance exam in our city, including PE, is only 700 points. Luodong only has 15 points deducted. Fatty Chui rubs his hands and says, "Is the Lin family going to have a top scorer?" Mrs. Lin thinks of the program she watched at noon and shakes her head, not the top scorer. The top scorer has 3 points more than Luodong. Even if he is not the top scorer, he is good enough. Fatty Chui says something wrong. He is about to comfort Luodong when Luodong laughs and says, "It is good that he is not the top scorer. If he is the top scorer, the school will tie you up for an interview. It will be too unsafe for our family." A boy less than 16 years old knows how to keep a low profile. The Lin family laughs. "Brother Dong Lin, you've contributed the most to my results." "Thank you." Rong is no longer a tutor. He works in Lin's pharmaceutical factory and is responsible for studying some ancient prescriptions. He is also a postgraduate student with Professor Qi. His life is busy every day. Hearing Luodong's words, Rong waves his hand and says, "You are the one who is willing to learn." Even when he was studying, he was not as serious as Luodong. Teenagers are the most active age, but Luodong can calm down and study the classical Chinese comparison table. He studies the textbook with the same attitude. Luodong's achievements today are inseparable from his own efforts. "Let's have a big meal tonight." Li takes out 2 red envelopes and hands them to Luodong and Huang. Luodong opens the envelope and sees a bank card. Huang's is the same. Li clears her throat and says, "There is 88,888 in each card. It is a gift for you." Can they get gifts for exams? Luodong blinks his eyes in confusion. Even if there are red envelopes, isn't it too much? He looks at Lin Luoran. Seeing his sister nod, he knows that he can take the money. Mrs. Lin wants to say something, but Mr. Lin stops her. Lin Luoran explains with a smile, they are both 15. Huang is fine, but we can't let Luodong live a poor life. Let me tell you one thing first. With the red envelopes from your sister, we won't pay for your tuition and living expenses during the 3 years of high school. If you don't have enough money, you have to earn it yourself. Can the scholarship cover all the tuition? Huang Weijian has been taking care of his own money for a long time, so he doesn't feel pressured. How can he use the money he earned from selling wild ginseng? Luodong winks at him, "Bro, do you know how to do business?" Huang Weijian turns a blind eye to Luodong. He can only pick up garbage with his eyes. Fatty Chui gives them some jade buttons as gifts. Mrs. Lin knows that jade is very expensive, so she says, "It ba," several times. Li says casually, "It's nothing." In ancient times, people used to hide silver at the corners of their clothes. They sew these buttons into their sleeves. They can be exchanged for money at critical moments. Haha. Fatty Chui is in a cold sweat. These are not expensive. They look good. I want to give them a souvenir. Mrs. Lin stops nagging. Rome gives them 2 pens. Yuan Yi and Xing Tian are acting mysteriously. They say that they are going to prepare the gifts and haven't come back yet. Everyone looks at Lin Luoran. Her gifts are still there. Chapter 307. In the beautiful Yibin, there are tens of thousands of acres of green mountainous area. Bamboo stretches as far as the eye can see, covering hundreds of hills. Leaving Yibin in the east and heading for Changning County, one will arrive at the entrance of the Sea of Bamboos in the south of Chuan Province, after more than 60 kilometers. As the temperature rises, even the wind in the downtown area is hot. City residents who can't stand the heat arrange their vacation and go to the Sea of Bamboos where it is warm in winter and cool in summer. Walking on the winding bamboo path, tourists can hear the chirping of birds, the green bamboos, and the wild flowers. They feel extraordinary and ethereal. If a woman in a green dress happens to meet in the Sea of Bamboos, she will be like a fairy in the mountains. After the Ware-Free Valley, there is the Jade Corridor of the Sea of Bamboos. There are dozens of miles of sightseeing trails. Tourists walk along the trails, watching the bamboos and listening to the spring. The fresh air is full of the fragrance of bamboo leaves, which makes people feel relaxed and peaceful. At this time, there are 3 tourists on the Jade Corridor. The leading girl seems to be in her 20s. She is wearing a simple green dress without any makeup, which makes the forest even more beautiful. Her eyes are so bright that people can see the bamboo swaying in the wind. The younger ones are 2 boys, about 15 or 16 years old. One of them is cheerful. He is taking pictures of the scenery along the way with an SLR camera. He doesn't walk fast, so the 3 of them are even slower. If Lin hadn't traveled with Luodong, she wouldn't have known that Luodong's hobby is photography. Of course, cultivators also need hobbies. Li Shi is cultivating her interest in flowers, Yuan Yi likes to study spirit herbs, and Huang Weijian likes to practice calligraphy. Lin Luoran herself feels the most fulfilled when she is working in the space. There is a drop of dew rolling on the top of the grass. Luodong stays still for a while and then takes a picture of the moment when it falls. Okay, let's go. Luodong feels embarrassed to let his sister and Huang wait for him. As for Huang Weijian, although he is a cultivator, he was raised by his single grandfather. He has never been out of the city since he came to the city from the countryside. The mountains are green and the rivers are beautiful. He greedily sees everything and remembers it in his heart. While taking pictures of the bamboo forest, Luodong says, "I wonder where my parents are now." After returning from the Tower of Babel, Mr. Lin makes a very romantic decision, to travel around the world with his mother, and the first stop is Hainan. His parents should be basking in the sun on the beach, drinking coconut juice, and eating some seafood for lunch, right? Mr. Lin also brings a lot of fishing gear, saying that he is going to try real sea fishing. Li Shi goes back to her school and Yuan Yi is the only one left to look after the family. He also teaches his school fellow apprentice who is a little slow in the spells of the 5 elements. This month has become a real vacation month for the Lin family. The reason why Lin Luoran chose the Sea of Bamboo in the south of Chuan Province as her first stop was because of the bamboo tube made by Yuan Yi last time. Bamboo itself has reiki. Lin Luoran can transplant some back and plant some in her space and backyard. They can be used to make utensils or even refine weapons in the future. In short, there was no need to worry about its usefulness. The sun is rising in the middle of the sky. Because Luodong is taking pictures slowly, they have just walked out of the Jade Corridor. Lin Luoran and Huang Weijian don't feel tired yet, but they have to take care of Luodong. There are plenty of farmhouses in the tourist area. Lin Luoran randomly picks one and prepares to have lunch. The quieter the place is, the worse the taste is. In order to eat fresh ingredients, Lin Luoran has to choose a restaurant with many guests. Since they are in the Sea of Bamboo, they will be embarrassed to talk to others if they don't have a bamboo banquet. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Lin Luoran, Huang Weijian and Lin Luoran pick a quiet place and wait for the banquet to be served. The thinly sliced, glossy cured meat was served. It is made of streaky pork. It looks oily, but Lin Luoran takes a bite and finds it tastes delicious. It is fat but not greasy. It tastes better than the ones at home. Is it smoked with bamboo leaves? Lin Luodong takes a few bites. Although it is not as good as the ones at home, it may be the wild boar that hasn't been fed. The meat is delicious. The special smoking method makes it totally different from the food of Lin's family. This is delicious. Huang Weijian concludes. A waiter serves them a big bamboo tube and says, "Hey, there's more." The bamboo tube is filled with white tofu pudding. The fragrance of the beans and the tranquility of the bamboo tube add a piece of cilantro on top of the white tofu pudding, which makes Lin Luoran's appetite increase. Soon, the waiter serves them 3 chili plates. This is the full service of tofu pudding. Braised salmon with bamboo shoots, roasted chicken with bamboo shoots, shredded bamboo shoots with sesame oil, and delicious soup with bamboo shoots. The 3 of them don't finish the bamboo banquet. These dishes are more than enough for them. When they are checking out, Lin Luoran says that he wants to treat them. Lin Luoran doesn't mind. When Luodong comes back, he is holding a small plate full of golden fried insects. "Sister, this is a gift from the owner. Are they really edible?" Lin Luodong is doubtful. They are bamboo shoot insects, high in protein. There used to be a lot of them in the back mountain of the Li's village. Lin Luoran's mouth is watering because of the aroma of fried bamboo shoot insects. Lin Luoran doesn't explain. She throws one into her mouth. These bamboo shoot insects have their feet and wings removed before they are fried. They taste the best when they are hot. Seeing that Lin Luoran is enjoying the food, the 2 boys also start to fight for the food. The taste is wild. Huang remembers that he once had this when he was a few years old, but this is the first time for Luodong. "Boss, is this the way to the colorful waterfall?" Lin Luoran thanks the owner after getting a positive answer. Then, she takes the 2 boys on their journey. They walk slowly. They just need to get to their destination before dark. Anyway, they have tents. Sleeping in the bamboo forest is a different experience. Along the way, Huang stops from time to time. The smile on Huang's face is becoming softer. He remembers that he took Luodong on a trip last time to help him get rid of the scar in his heart. In this way, it seems that he is making chicken soup for the soul. Lin Luoran smiles secretly. She looks up at the sky from time to time. Goldie is showing half of its body in the clouds. The cunning and timid cyan little fox must be clutching Goldie's neck for fear of falling down. Animals should belong to the wild, to this strange and interesting nature. Last time when he took them to the Tower of Babel, it was not just for fun, but they were almost turned into barbecued meat by the blue waves, which made both the eagle and the fox feel a lingering fear. Well, she needs to comfort their fragile hearts. The Sea of Bamboos in the south of Chuan Province is beautiful. There are springs and waterfalls everywhere. Among the mountains, there are dozens of waterfalls of different shapes. The most spectacular one is the colorful waterfall. At 7:00 in the evening, the 3 of them arrive at Shirgu Mountain. Luodong cheers. His feet almost follow the surname of others. Down from Shirgu Mountain is the Gourd Valley, where the colorful waterfall is. Seeing that Luodong is struggling to walk, Lin Luoran shakes her head and smiles. They walk down the path and the sound of the waterfall can be heard clearly. The waterfall goes straight down. It is said that at noon on a sunny day, when the sun shines, you can see a rainbow at the bottom of the pond. They were already late today, but what they lacked the least was time. Luodong has camping experience. He and Huang Weijian pitch their tents on the top of the pond. Lin Luoran picks up some firewood and builds a stove with stones. She boils the water in a pot and asks the two teenagers to keep an eye on the fire. Goldie lands on the ground in a blink of an eye when there is no one around. After shaking off the cyan little fox, it becomes the size of an ordinary eagle and stands on Lin Luoran's shoulder. The cyan little fox feels wronged, but soon its attention is attracted by Luo Dong and Huang trying to catch fish. It jumps to the side of the pond and Lin Luoran takes Goldie to the top of the waterfall. On the back of the mossy waterfall, where ordinary people can't stand, there is the spirit bamboo that Yuan Yi mentioned. Only bringing little Gold along was purely to solve the problem of meat for everyone's dinner. Normally, wild rabbits would feel weak at the knees when they felt little Gold's aura. They would just lie on the ground and wait for you to grab them by the ears. Lin Luoran releases Goldie, casts the wind-riding spell and flies to the top of the waterfall. There is indeed a cliff on the back of the waterfall. A cluster of dark-colored bamboos is quietly growing there. Lin Luoran is as light as a bamboo leaf that has just left the bamboo branch. She quietly falls on the top of the swaying bamboo. Yuan Yi only cut a bamboo tube last time, so there are still 5 bamboos in the same place. They are not as big as the bamboo tube. Lin Luoran is careful not to hurt their roots, so she digs them out and transplants them into the space. What is hidden in the soil of the roots? It is hard. Lin Luoran pinches something. When she is about to take it out, the heart of Druid in her clothes starts to buzz. Chapter 308. Lin Luoran is tidying up the roots of the spirit bamboo. She feels something hard. The heart of Druid that she hides in her clothes starts to buzz. Lin Luoran takes out an unidentified object that is thinner than her little finger. It is covered with the black soil under the roots. Lin Luoran rubs it but can't see what it is, so she puts it away. Because of this little accident, Lin Luoran finishes digging the spirit bamboo. She temporarily gives up exploring nearby and flies down the cliff of the waterfall. The sound of water is accompanied by the conversation of the two teenagers. There is smoke curling around the tent. Huang Weijian finds 2 crabs from the pool. Although he is still silent, everyone can see his excitement. The water in the pot is boiling. Seeing Lin Luoran, Luodong shows that there are no other ingredients except crabs. Lin smiles and touches the boy's head. Luodong is about 1.6 meters tall. In another 2 years, Lin Luoran won't be able to touch his head even if she wants to. Huang says that there are shrimps in the pool. Lin Luoran sees him taking out a pen. It is not dark yet and it is too eye-catching to use spells. She finds a silk line for him to fish for shrimps. While Luodong is cleaning the crabs, Goldie, the size of an eagle, flies back and throws 2 prey to him. The prey is black and gray and looks smaller than rabbits. Goldie, are you asking us to eat rats? The 2 rats are fat and motionless. Goldie bites them to death. Luodong is embarrassed to pick them up. He has never eaten rat meat before. Lin Luoran shames him. These are bamboo rats that only eat bamboo. They are delicious. Goldie found them for you, but you don't appreciate it. Goldie, there are only 2 of them. They are not enough. Go and catch 3 more. Goldie chirps happily and flies into the dense forest again. Looking at the bamboo rats, Lin Luoran remembers the time when she dropped out of college and found a job as a receptionist. She worked during the day and the boss would take her out to socialize at night. One day, they went to a high-end restaurant for dinner. A roasted bamboo rat smells delicious and stimulates her taste buds. However, they also have the task of toasting. When Lin Luoran has time to taste it, only the bones of the roasted bamboo rat are left. Lin Luoran used to be unable to afford this kind of rats and birds which are artificially raised at a price of dozens of yuan per catty. Life pays back those who are willing to work hard. Today, she has tasted a wild bamboo rat. Lin Luoran quickly peels off the bamboo rat's claws, cleans its internal organs, smears various spices on it, wraps it in a bamboo coat, and covers it with mud from the pond. Lin buries it under the fire. This is the method of beggar's chicken. It should be delicious to make bamboo rats, right? On the other side, Luodong has followed Lin Luoran's order and cut several bamboo tubes as thick as a baby's arm. Sister, what is this bamboo tube for? Luodong hands over the tube and asks curiously. Lin Luoran digs a small hole at one end of the bamboo joint and washes it. She takes out some rice from her space and pours it into the hole. Then she fills it with water and seals the hole. She puts the hole beside the fire. Luodong's eyes light up. Bamboo rice? Of course, he has tasted bamboo rice before. There are many small restaurants in the city. However, he is still looking forward to the original bamboo rice. Lin Luoran is not a martial arts expert. Lin Luoran doesn't have all kinds of martial arts skills. She learned how to cook bamboo rice from a TV documentary she watched when she was young. The main character was a local minority girl in Yunnan. She went up the mountain to chop firewood and only brought a handful of rice for lunch. At noon, she lit a fire and cooked bamboo rice according to the steps. When the rice was ready, she cut the bamboo rice with a chopper. Lin Luoran seemed to smell the fragrance of rice in front of the TV. After making several bamboo rice tubes, the water in the pot is almost boiled dry. Huang's shrimp fishing business is going well. There are several big shrimps by the pond. Luodong runs to help. He washes the crabs and shrimps out and throws them into the pot. He puts some salt and ginger in the pot and then covers it. The funniest thing is the cyan little fox. It is angry that Goldie caught a few more bamboo rats, so it also tries to touch crabs like Huang Weijian. It is funny enough that a fox moves a stone, but the crab caught by the cyan little fox is too big, and its paw is caught. The fox's paw is full of meat, and its face is wrinkled in pain. Lin Luoran wants to help it, but Goldie strikes first. Its sharp beak pecks on the back of the crab. The crab's shell is vulnerable, and the crab loosens its paw in pain. The cyan little fox is embarrassed by Goldie's help. It hands the big crab to Luodong and asks him to cook it together. The cunning fox is walking on the broad road touched by the simple Goldie. Lin Luoran, the bad master, picks up the rest of the bamboo rats and buries them together. The fire is burning, and the smell of fresh food is coming out of the pot. Shrimps and crabs can't be cooked for a long time. Lin Luoran asks the two teenagers to wash their hands and eat the crabs and shrimps first. Cooking in the wild is for the fun of not bothering about trifles. The three of them break off two bamboo branches as thick as chopsticks and fish them out of the pot. The shrimps and crabs are red after they are cooked. Only salt and ginger are added to make them taste good. The fishy smell is removed, and the real tenderness and sweetness of freshwater food is left. Goldie pecks a crab shell and eats it with relish. The cyan little fox has never been stupid. It chooses a pebble of moderate size, breaks the crab shell, and picks up the crab meat with a bamboo branch. Not a bit of crab meat is wasted. After eating the shrimps and crabs, the fire in the stove is about to go out. Lin Luoran takes out a few black mud cubes. The wet mud covering the bamboo rats is cracked. She knocks them gently, and the mud layer falls down. The smell of meat overflows. When the bamboo clothes are peeled off, the golden rat meat is exposed, which makes people salivate. The cyan little fox is dumbfounded. Recently, it is not picky anymore. It likes delicious food, no matter whether it has reiki or not. Seeing Lin Luoran peeling the first bamboo rat, the cyan little fox's saliva drips all over the ground. Lin Luoran gives the bamboo rat to it. The cyan little fox thinks for a while and gives the head with the least meat to Goldie. Not to mention Goldie, even the three teenagers are stunned. Then they laugh. It's hard to change a leopard's spots. It's rare for the fox to be generous, but it still gives Goldie the part with the most bones and less meat. Lin Luoran hands another roasted bamboo rat to Goldie. Then she asks the two teenagers to peel the rest, and she cuts a few bamboo tubes. The bamboo tubes are filled with white and plump rice. The real rice has a layer of grease on the surface after it is cooked. The grains are clear and the texture is just right. The three of them eat the bamboo rice with the rat meat. Together with the crab and shrimp they have just eaten, they are so full that they don't want to move anymore. When the last light of the setting sun is swallowed by the horizon, Lin Luoran cleans up the fire and gives the rest of the bamboo rats to Goldie. It is the hero of the hunt. Lin Luodong says that he wants to go to the forest with Huang Weijian to digest the food. Thinking of the thing she hasn't checked yet, Lin Luoran nods, "Take Goldie with you in case you get lost. Remember, safety first. Come back early." There is nothing more attractive than exploring in such a deep forest in the evening. Even Huang Weijian is a little excited. They set off with Goldie soon. Lin Luoran takes out the little thing she found at the root of the spirit bamboo. It is covered with black mud and is hard to recognize. She walks to the pool and washes it. The torrent washes away the mud and gradually reveals its original color. A 5 centimeter long metal rod, thinner than the little finger, is exposed. Two characters that Lin Luoran doesn't know are carved on it. Lin Luoran turns the metal over and over again, but she doesn't know it. Could it be that this little metal stick had turned the ordinary bamboo into spiritual bamboo? Maybe it is just a coincidence. However, how can she explain the reaction of the Heart of Druid? After leaving the Tower of Babel, the Heart of Druid has lost its original listening ability. Lin Luoran has studied it for a month, but she has no clue. Lin Luoran takes off the Heart of Druid. It is a crystal the size of a goose egg with a thin slit in the middle. It is said that the Heart of Druid was divided into two halves by the elves in the alien world. As soon as it approaches the metal rod, it starts to buzz again. Lin Luoran looks at the silver chain. The hole pierced by the silver chain seems to be the same size as the metal rod. Lin Luoran unties the silver chain and puts the clean metal rod on it. It's exactly the same. There is no gap at all. They are indeed one. Lin Luoran doesn't know who brought this thing into the Tower of Babel and fell into the alien world. Or someone took the metal rod and lost it in the Sea of Bamboo in the south of Chuan province. Lin Luoran really doesn't expect to have all of them. It is so unreal and so unreliable. Lin Luoran looks at the Heart of Druid, in which the metal rod is inserted. Nothing changes. When she is about to put it away, the cyan little fox jumps into her arms. Lin Luoran is caught off guard and the Heart of Druid falls into the pool. "Oh, you." Lin Luoran pinches the little fox's face like a bun. When she is about to pick it up from the pool, the Heart of Druid bursts out a strong light. A beam of strong light is cast to the direction of the waterfall. In the turbulent water, there is a hanging translucent screen. Pictures are rotating rapidly, testing Lin Luoran's eyesight. The cyan little fox is at a loss with its eyes wide open. Lin Luoran is dazzled. The flashing pictures, the silvery matte sound of the ship, the circuit board covered with crystal wires, the dark and cold. Is it a mecha? Could it be that the Heart of Druid was just a movie player? Lin Luoran flies into the air and clicks on the flashing picture of the spaceship. The spaceship is loud and it is full of muzzles. Wherever Lin Luoran touches, the details will be enlarged. No matter which picture it is, all the objects are engraved with the same two characters as on the metal rod. Yuri, Lin Luoran's mind suddenly flashes with the translated words, which startles her. When she is about to click on the next picture, she hears a noise not far away. It sounds like Luodong's voice. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.